And I'm
Are we
waiting
live?
for the. Yeah, hold on. I'm waiting for YouTube to catch up with us. Apparently, we're live. Can you guys? Hi, guys. Can you guys see us?
If you can see us, say comments.
Okay, we're good.
Oh.
We're good.
It's
We're
loading.
live. It's all caught up on YouTube. We're a couple seconds behind, but we're good.
So we are live. Oh, sweet.
We are live.
Okay.
We are
All
live.
right. Hello, everyone.
We are live. We are live. Whoa, we're live, man.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Face reveal. Where are you? All right. Hello, everyone.
Hi, guys.
This is the Unlucky Tug, the epic face reveal of Unlucky Tug.
I thought you did a face reveal.
I did a face reveal years ago. This isn't really a face reveal.
This is the face reveal for all the people who found out about you after you quit.
Yeah. So welcome to all people that are new.
Yep. For those of you who are wondering who I am, I'm his friend from TV.com from what, 2006? Maybe before. That
days.
We'll talk about the TV.com days.
That was 14 years ago.
That's where we met Ricky and Lewis, and that's how we became friends with them. The Thomas Tank merch. That's how we became friends with them, was through TV.com. TV.com, those days of us being on TV.com predates most of the fans in the fandom. Like, they weren't even born yet, and when we were talking on TV.com forums.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I feel old.
So do I. Oh my God. We're probably twice the age of most of the people in the fandom.
We definitely are.
Let's not think about that.
You can't see my gray hairs on camera, so it's okay. I'm only 20. I'm only 26 and I got gray hairs. It's okay. It's fine.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. I'm 26 and I have a receding hairline. So.
Oh. Anyway.
Hello everyone. I'm back.
I've never left, but I'm still here.
Kevin never left.
No.
I don't know. How do we start this? This is all new.
Well, let's just look at some of the comments. Like, everybody. Well, first off, and Nick, don't think I'm overstepping any boundaries here. I do this every Friday, so if you need me to, just tell me to shut up. But seeing all these comments of everybody just like, "Hey, holy crap, there he is! Welcome back." That's all. That's totally awesome. I love seeing the ups and downs of the Thomas fandom has. The energy is great. It's there. So you guys are
for all the downsides of the fandom. There's a lot of drama in the fandom, but you know what? There's a lot of drama in
any fandom.
Any fandom. That's not exclusive to the Thomas one.
Trust me, I'm in the Power Rangers community, and I do this every Friday night, and it's no different.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I bet. I bet with Star Wars fandom, it's even
worse.
Oh
my gosh, it's even worse.
It's but for all the shortcomings of the Thomas fandom, there's a lot of great stuff. There's a lot of creativity, and I think that's the best element about it. People are very creative in this fandom. Everyone's a creator. You know, like this is like half the reason I wanted to come back is because I'm so inspired by all the people I see and all the things that they do with people's models and crop replicas,
right?
The really nice looking like trains videos that are like,
oh my gosh, I haven't bought it yet, but Carson's videos are the reason I want to get trains and play around. Like,
Carson's videos are freaking wonderful,
and we'll talk. I guess we can talk about that more later. It's still an inspiration to why we're still here. And we see a lot of you asking questions in the chat. Don't worry. We're going to get to all of them. But first, Nick, Tug, my man, my broski, tell me, why are you back, man? What's going on with you?
Why am I back? All right, how do I start this? I guess we're talking about, first of all, why I left in the first place.
Yeah, it'd be a good thing to do.
So I officially left the Thomas fandom in 2018, February 2018. I don't know when it was exactly.
Are you looking for the last time you posted a video?
No, I mean from like Twitter.
Oh, okay.
Videos, whatever. But like actually left Twitter and was like, I'm done. Was in 2018, early 2018.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, you could probably scroll down your profile and find it in like 2 seconds
on Twitter.
Yeah, which is what I'm doing right now.
You can't, because I was an idiot and I deleted all my tweets.
Well, some of them are still there. Some of them are still there.
Are they?
There's some retweets there, and then there was somebody who was commenting that you had 666 tweets. The last time it shows you tweeting though is 2016, but you were definitely not that long ago.
Yeah, that's inaccurate. I regret doing that. I deleted when I left. I was like, I'm going to delete all my tweets. I'm just going to remove my history from.
And that was so sad because there were times I want to go back and just look down your profile and see what you got, and I'm like, oh, it only goes about 10 inches and it's done.
Yeah.
Oh well.
It sucks because, well, I hated that. I hate the fact I deleted all my tweets because there were so many good like tweets, like there were, like funny things that I thought were great and like epic photoshops I did that I like didn't save and now I don't have them anymore.
All gone.
It's all gone. All those face references I did, like they're just,
that was the one thing I wish I had saved, face references.
Yeah. I remember like the Jack and the Pack ones and the narrow gauge engine ones. Yeah. I have some of those still. I have them on my hard drive, so I didn't lose all of them. But
excuse me.
Yeah. Anyway, going back to why I left in the first place. Early 2018, around that time, I would say that was like the shakiest the Thomas fandom ever was. Because that was like right after the information, the announcement about Big World Big Adventures was coming. We learned about that in 2017.
Yes.
Why did Tug leave?
I figured I'd help you out for anybody who's jumping in. This will give them hey, this is what we're talking about.
Nice idea. I like that.
Hey, big brain.
Big brain time. Nice.
Genius time. Genius.
Anyway, 2018, early 2018 was like the shakiest the fandom ever was because we had just found out about like the Big World Big Adventures. The show was going to like take a turn for the worst. And a lot of us were like, we'll wait and see what happens. Then like season 21 came out and like we saw like, oh my god, it's actually happening. They wrote off Edward. This is really happening. Like it became very real. And I know it's like silly to like want to leave the fandom after that, but it was like because of all that, there was so much drama in the fandom, so much divide. People like saying it's okay they're doing this, or people that are very much against it. I was in the very much against camp, but
me too.
And still am, for the record.
Yes.
It was just like a mix of that, just all this like complete drama and toxicity mixed with a lot of real life stuff happening at the same time too. I graduated college at the end of 2017, and I had just gotten like my first real job in the design industry in 2018. I shortly after moved out, and I don't live at home anymore, and it was just a lot of stuff happening at once, and it was kind of like reaching like a path in my life where I was like, I kind of want to leave this all behind. I kind of like keep my close friends, of course, like you, Kevin, and Ricky and Lewis and Nemo and all those guys, but kind of distance myself. So I left Twitter. I gave up on Lucky Tug, and I made the Nick Goob account, my personal Nick Goodrich account, which kind of just turned into a second Unlucky Tug account.
It kind of did.
It was supposed to just be like, oh, this is my personal account, whatever. But then as time went on, it was just like, you know what, this is just turning into Unlucky Tug again. Like, and I was okay with it. I was fine with it. But then the account got deleted.
Oops.
I guess I should go into how that happened, because a lot of people are probably wondering, like, what happened to your account?
I remember what happened. I remember what happened. I remember what happened. It was yeah, I do. Did it have to do with birdie memes?
It had to do with it's a stupid fucking bus, man.
Okay, strap in, people. This is a great story. I love this story.
So birdie memes, I love birdie memes, by the way. If you don't follow birdie memes on Twitter, go follow birdie memes. They're the best Twitter account. I have like this back and forth with birdie memes. I love being like very like mean to birdie memes. And they made some dumb tweet, and then I like responded saying I threatened to kill birdie memes in the tweet, like jokingly. Like, of course I was joking. It's fucking birdie memes. But I guess this is like right after Twitter booty memes. This was right after like Twitter started cracking down on like, you know, they take that stuff seriously.
Yeah.
Because the morning after I made that tweet. I had to log in and it said my account was suspended. So I'm like, what happened, right? So I sent them an email. I got in touch with them. About a week later, they came back showing me that tweet in an email saying this was the tweet this is why your account was removed. We found this content harmful, etc. And I was like, okay. Usually they give you the option to remove the tweet and restore your account. And if they had done that, I would have done that. Like, I'll remove it. I don't care. But they didn't give me the option. They never gave me the option. So I appealed it, and then I never heard back from them. And after that, I was like, okay, you know what? I'm kind of done with Twitter. All right, this is ridiculous. So I left Twitter, and I was like, okay, I'll focus on real life stuff. I have my friends on Discord still. Like, it's fine, whatever. But through all that, it never felt like I left, because when you're friends with Thomas fans, Twitter, like you were saying before, Kevin, Twitter is like the epicenter of everything.
Yeah.
So it's like, no matter what, if you're a Thomas fan, you're going to see tweets from Twitter. You're going to still be involved in all that. Not to mention, there's a lot of users on Twitter that I really enjoy following. I love their content. And like, I would still go back, even without a Twitter, to check their page just to be like, oh, what are they talking about? What's the newest thing that they posted? And that went on for a while, right? And, you know, a mix of people like you or Ricky and Lewis or whoever, like telling me, Nick, you should come back. People miss you. When are you going to come back? Blah, blah, blah.
Or you would hear the information like secondhand. Like, I'd be like, look at this on Twitter. And then you'd be like, oh, that's funny. And so you basically got the information like secondhand. Yeah. Like, and it was like, just come back, man.
Yeah, just come back. So it was on Tuesday of this past week. I was in a VC, and it was Jacob, Flying Pringle from Twitter.
My boy.
Love that guy.
He's great
right now. If he is, Jacob, if you're here, love you. And he told me, Nick, you should come back. I forget exactly what he said, but it was like in that moment, I was like, you know what? Why not? Why not come back? Like, people will probably be really happy, right? And I would be happy. It's not going to negatively affect my life at all. So I just did. And I fucking arranged the stupid ass reveal with birdie memes.
Oh, and that tweet blew up.
And the tweet blew up. I posted the picture of Boomer with the gun, and he like just shot birdie memes and like left him to die in like shark infested water.
Why was the eye blue on Boomer?
What'd you say?
Why was his eye blue? Like, he had like the laser eye. Was that like a Terminator kind of thing you were going for, or?
Because the guys who do birdie memes like built these tweets leading up to the reveal.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
He's checking his mailbox or whatever. And it's like he gets this message in the mail that says, "I'm coming for you, bitch," signed on. And then like the last picture of that reveal was like the Boomer head behind him, and it had a blue eye for some reason. I don't know why, but I was like, I got to be consistent with that, so I put a blue eye on my picture that I posted. So I tweeted it. It blew up. It got like 800 likes or something.
797. We need 3 more likes on that tweet. Everybody, 3 more.
800. Let's get to 800.
Let's get to 800, guys.
And it's just since I've been back, it's been great. A lot of people have been like DMing me and like saying they're happy to see me, and yeah, I'm happy to be back. It's great. It doesn't feel like I ever left. It's like all the same cool people are still there. A lot of people still have like the same like icons and stuff, and are doing the same thing. It's great. Awesome. So I'm back now. I suppose what to expect from me from the future. It's going to be more Twitter based, I think. I don't plan on making like review videos anymore. It's just like that passion's not there anymore. Like, so much work goes into making reviews, right? Like, you have to watch what you're watching like 1 or 2 times to make sure you get all the details. You got to write a script, and then you got to edit the script. You got to do the voiceover, and then you got to like edit all the clips together. It's a lot of work. It's like a full-time hobby, and if that passion's not there, there's no point in doing it, right? No point in doing like half-assed content if your heart's not in it.
Right.
So And it's just, I don't feel all that passionately about the show as it is anyway, especially now. I mean, I love the old stuff, but new stuff is
we'll talk about that.
Poo-poo, man. Yeah. So in terms of what's to come, I'll be active on Twitter. I'm into modeling. I do a lot of like model train stuff. If you've been following me on Twitter, you've all the several that I haven't revealed yet. I have 3 more actually. What have I shown so far?
I've seen them.
You've seen all of them. You've also seen the other big thing I'm going to reveal on this stream tonight. I haven't posted on Twitter whatsoever. So
big stream, big adventure. Zeo and Tug's big stream adventure. It's the best rendition of that song.
No.
No, I tried.
But anyway, yeah, that's it for that. I'm back.
Yeah.
So we're testing out this stream now. The reason I wanted to do this stream at all was, well, first of all, the whole reason I had the idea was because you, Kevin, put the idea in my head earlier this week.
Because I stream every week. I'm going to shamelessly plug my stuff, by the way. I stream every week with my friends. We have, if any of you are ever part of the Power Rangers fandom, you might know a little podcast called Riders, Rangers, and Rambles. Well, they did it for 7 years, and then we continued it, and the old cast is also a part of the show. So we're on our 10th year anniversary of Riders, Rangers, and Rambles. We stream every Friday on YouTube. So I do this every week, and I just love streaming. I love doing this, like love getting together, interacting with fans and stuff like that. So I was like, Nick, we should do a welcome back stream. And you're like, maybe. And then he messages me today, and he's like, hey, so do you want to stream tonight? And I was like, sure.
The more I thought about it, the more I was like, that kind of sounds like a good idea. I bet a lot of people are probably wondering, like, why did he come back out of fucking nowhere?
It was all planned. We planned this. It was a 3-year plan.
Oh,
we
yeah.
had this all set in stone.
This was all part of it. This was a big plan from 2017 we developed. Yeah. It's all part of this giant ruse. No, really, this was like something you brought up earlier this week. And I was like, that's actually a really good idea the more I thought about it. So we're trying it. And if this goes well, maybe we'll do more. Who knows? Maybe we'll have other people on, or who knows what will happen.
Right. We're definitely open to it, but we're going to play it out over time. We're going to see how it goes, see how the reception of this is, which is pretty good so far. So we'll see what happens. We're not going to stream every week, but we are going to think about doing more of this.
Yeah, for sure. We'll see how it goes. So far, so good. I mean, I was kind of worried. I'm like, oh, this is going to be like a disaster. But so far, it's been pretty good. So
156 people watching. Thanks for watching, guys. This is awesome.
Holy shiznits. 157 people. That many of you care, really?
Yeah, apparently.
Thanks.
Hold on. This doesn't exist. I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Apparently, I look like a discount Tony Stark.
So can we call him Tony Stank? Can we call him that?
Hey, you know what? I'm okay with that. Cool. I don't mind being a discount.
Right? Dollar store Stark. Anyway,
in the cage tug.
Why? What did I do? I didn't do anything.
You know, man.
I'm married now. I got married.
This guy's married, guys.
Right?
This guy he has a life.
I do. I have toys. I have a nice computer. I have a career. I've got my wife. Got to get my dog, but yeah.
This guy is living the dream.
Totally. Totally. What was I going to say? There was something I was going to bring up. I don't remember what though. I'm dropping my wedding ring. Story I was gonna. So just so you all know, I totally invited this man. He's over here. I invited this man to my wedding, and I was super sad and cried that he could not come because of work. But we're gonna do a reuniting thing at some point.
Yes.
Okay, look. Don't diss. Don't diss the Beatles hair, man. Don't diss the Beatles, man. Don't diss it. Don't diss it. I like it. My wife likes it too.
What if you just flat out shaved your head?
I see. I thought about it because my hair grows super fast. I'm actually worried because of the coronavirus doesn't calm down and I can't go and get my friend to cut my hair again. It's going to become like a mullet. And I'm really worried about that. And I'm like, so I'm like, what if I just shaved my head? And then I was like, no. And my wife was like, please don't. So, but anyway, no, but this man wasn't at my wedding, but I still love him all the same. And I'm actually glad he didn't ignore it and was like a week before, like, oh, by the way, I'm not coming. It was like, hey, man, I can't come and I'm super sorry. But then we're planning to hang out sometime this year. I don't know when.
I would come to see him this year.
So yes. So we'll do something. Maybe after my Cool Props Thomas comes in, you could come and we'll do something fun with that. Who knows?
I forgot that was coming out.
So I have over here. You see that bookshelf right there?
Yes.
So that right there, I'm going to put a new shelf there. That is where Cool Props Thomas is going, and there's going to be a Thomas poster right above it. That's going to be its own little section. It's going to be beautiful. So the first thing you see when you come in is going to be Cool Props Thomas.
Nice. I really want that. I do really want that too. Like,
did you end up pre-ordering? I knew you wanted just Thomas. Did you end up pre-ordering that or no?
No, I never got it.
I know you can still pre-order it if you want it. So
how much is it just the Thomas by itself? Because like
700. Let me check.
700.
Hold on, I'm gonna check.
Oh boy, that's better than 1,000 or whatever the price was at first.
Yen to dollar. I know it's not going to be fully accurate, but it's close enough. Oh, they're doing Ultraman now. Cool Props. That's awesome. Sorry, I'm a Toku geek. I love Kamen Rider, Power Rangers, Super Sentai, and all that. Okay, so Thomas with Annie and Clarabelle is $1,528. Thomas by himself is $648, and Bill and Ben are coming soon.
Oh my God, we're getting Bill and Ben too.
They're proper on the page, like Bill and Ben prop replica coming soon.
Is there like a estimated like release date for those?
Bill and Ben or Thomas?
Yeah. Or both?
Thomas comes out in September. It's right. Well, right now it's going to be September. But I don't know if that's going to change because of the coronavirus. So I don't know if it's going to be delayed or anything like that. Bill and Ben don't yet, and I understand why, because Thomas took forever. It was like a 6-month delay or something like that in pre-orders. Like there was like, oh, you could pre-order it in July, and then you couldn't pre-order it until like December.
When was it first revealed?
I don't remember. Let me check. Let me go. I honestly do not remember. I'm going to see if I can figure that out. But they post pictures of it. Okay, hold on. November. Okay, we're already back in June of last year. So they don't post a ton of pictures on their Twitter. First picture they have on their Twitter is from please stand by. December 1st, 2018.
Okay, so it's been like a year and 3 months since they first found out about that. Okay.
Yes, and if you look at the pictures of it then and look at the pictures of it now, they've done a lot to
it. No, it looks exactly like the prop now. It's kind of amazing. Yeah, right. It looks really good.
I'm super happy. My wife was like, "Yeah, you can order that." It helped that we weren't married yet, but. But I'm super excited for that. I haven't even mentioned Bill and Ben to her yet.
I don't know. Can you imagine if they did every character or every like major character?
I mean, I have no doubt that they're going to do every character that's in Japan right now.
You think they'll do every single one?
If it sells well, they will, I think.
So they got Thomas, Edward, Henry, Gordon, James, Percy, Toby, Donald.
Not Duck.
Not Duck. For some reason, I don't know where the fuck Duck is. Yeah.
Right. Donald Douglas, Oliver, Bill and Ben, Mavis, and then Sir Handel, Rheneas, Duncan.
Yep.
Do they have all of the big ones?
They don't have Skarloey.
Okay, I didn't
I have
think
a
they had
theory.
Reuploaded.
I have a theory.
Okay.
So the props that are in Japan were the ones that were on display
Right.
at Nitrogen Studios back in the day.
Yes.
The fact they have all of the Railway series characters except Duck and Skarloey. I have a theory Greg Tiernan kept, or they let Greg keep a couple.
Right. I don't doubt
I don't
that.
know if that's true or not, but I would not be shocked if he had the Skarloey prop just like sitting in his office. Duck too. I mean, I don't know where Duck is, but
Right. We don't know where he is. Hold on. There's a comment I wanted to highlight. Give it to me now. I want this. Give me cool props for it. I would die.
Yeah.
My favorite 4 characters are Thomas, James, Gordon, and Sir Handel, and they could potentially do all 4 of them.
Would you want a prop of the big Sir Handel though, with that crappy face?
See, here's the thing though: we have so many creative people in the fandom. I don't doubt that I could get a better face for him.
That's true, actually.
And see, and here's the other thing that really pisses me off is that the cool props Thomas. If you don't get both of them, you don't get all the faces. If you get the one with Annie and Clarabelle, you get his shocked, happy, and angry face. If you get just Thomas, you get his tired and happy face. So if you want all the faces, you have to buy both. And that makes me really mad.
That's so goddamn corrupt. Who's gonna buy 2 Thomases at like $600 each?
Right? Like that's like over $2,000 you would be spending just to get an extra face. And there's so many cool people in this fandom who can create the faces. I'm like, well, why bother when I could just get a face?
Right, I'm gonna hold that thought.
Oh my gosh.
I would absolutely buy this. Also, hello, Cynic on Rails.
How you doing, buddy?
How you doing?
In a heartbeat. In a heartbeat.
Fucking Diesel 10. That would be the craziest prop replica ever.
I'm thinking of that promo image. I don't know if you remember, but it was on the Magic Railroad website years ago when they had the promo images under the Erdl section with Lady without her face, and then they had Splatter and Dodge and that grimy photo of Diesel 10. I'm gonna find it. Hold on.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yes. Yeah. I'm just thinking of that on my desk right here, and oh my gosh.
That thing must be a brick. Literally.
It has to be.
It has to weigh so much. There's so many mechanics in there to get the claw to move. That you could kill someone with that.
You really could.
Like taking the Diesel 10 prop and just whacking someone with it. That would annihilate them.
So this kind of brings up some of this. Okay, so I'm gonna throw this out there. Let's forget we are going to talk about the Magic Railroad Blu-ray, guys. I see a lot of you commenting.
Oh yeah,
we're going to talk about that. But okay, let's say we're X number of years down the line, and Cool Props has done everything that Japan has right now. What would you want to see them do next? So basically, a prop that Japan does not have, and we already said Diesel 10, so let's not say Diesel 10. So basically, the main 11 minus Duck, Bill and Ben, the Smalley, the narrow gauge engines, Mavis, Diesel 10. Let's just say they've all been done. What would you want to see? Cranky?
Imagine Cranky.
Oh my god!
Having that giant thing, just like a perfect Cranky. That'd be fun.
I'd put him right here behind my 2 monitors.
he hangs your microphone.
Hey, better what they're doing to Cranky now.
He's at Drayton Manor now.
So my answer would be I want either Daisy or Stepney, Duck, and the Diesel. I love Daisy and I love. Oh my god! Here we go. Correct answer. I want George.
That would be fun.
Yeah, I love George. So I love George. I love the Diesel. I love Daisy. And it is an absolute travesty what is happening to them right now.
I can't believe. I can't believe that they're there.
I can't either. And I'm hold on, the true answer.
Right.
Right.
We're gonna get that.
But I just can't believe it. I'm so mad. And seeing that blue tack on George, or the black tack on George's eyes, I hate it. I hate it.
I can't freaking believe. I just can't believe they did that. It just seems. I mean, we all know.
We all know. We're not going to say it, but we all know why.
We all know why. We know who put them there.
Right.
It just seems like out of spite, you know. It's like all these like very specific characters that like class 40, like really, like that.
There's one of him.
Huge middle finger to like everyone.
Mm-hmm.
It's like he could have used. I mean, I don't want to see any of them there. Even like the crappy characters, like Billy or something. Like I don't want to see any of them there. But like the fact it was like class 40
and Daisy and George and Cranky, old slow coach.
Yeah. It's just it just feels like a big middle finger. And the fact they put like black tack on the eyes, it's just like
they knew exactly what they were doing.
What'd you say?
They knew exactly what they were doing.
They knew exactly what they were doing. Yeah.
And the problem is Drayton Manor doesn't. It'd be one thing if Drayton Manor could take care of these props, but over 10 years of them being there has proven that they can't.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Where's Stephanie? Where's Toby? You know, like
exactly.
I don't know.
No one knows where they went.
I'm telling you, I was joking. This is a joke. Hold on. We gotta make sure that we know that this is a joke. Hold on. So I don't get in trouble because I will get in trouble.
You are doing a way better job at watching the comments than I am.
All right, guys. So real quick, this is a joke alert. This is a joke. Everything I've said here is not going to happen. But with the whole coronavirus thing going on, I assume Drayton Manor is shut down. Now is the time for us to go and steal them.
This guy has the right idea.
We need to go in there. We need to take them.
Yeah.
And we need to hold them dear to our hearts, cuddle with them in bed. No, joking. Don't do that. It's a joke. I'm a joke. But we need to get them back. So this is when one of you creative people in the fandom needs to family. We are family though. You need to get a job at Mattel and then take over and get the props back.
Yeah.
Because they belong. Oh, hold on. This part is not a joke. They belong in a museum. They really deserve. Theodore Tugboat props are taken better care of than the Thomas props.
It's a joke that like Theodore is treated so much better than Thomas. Like,
and don't get me wrong. I appreciate Theodore. I don't love it like other people do, but I can definitely appreciate the time and the skill it took to do that show. You know, I think Tugs is superior. Duh. But
who doesn't think Tugs is superior? Oh, right. Hey, Steven's here. Hi, Steven. Hello.
Hey, hi.
I'm not watching the comments very well.
Oh well, no, okay. Little Westy also brings
Hello.
up.
Hello.
No, trust me.
Oh boy, that's a whole different.
That's another, but that's another story. Okay, theory time, everybody, because Nick and I have talked about this. Where's Top Hat?
I think Top Hat exists still.
I think he was in David Mitten's house. I think he took the best character from Tugs and kept him.
I think it's either that and it's in like the Mitten household, like his wife or kids or someone has it,
right?
Or because all the Tugs props were in storage at Southampton, right? Or wherever the storage area was.
Yeah,
they were still there until I think it was when Mitten died. Was when they started clearing them out.
Right.
Because they cleared out his like section of the plate. When did he die? 2009?
2009. Okay,
so this would have been after production on Thomas ended too. So yeah, I think they were just like clearing house at that point.
Yes.
The guy maybe he is. You know, we don't know really. We don't know.
Time to dig up that grave.
Well, the point is they cleared out the storage units, right? They saved, I mean, obviously they threw out a lot of stuff, but someone saved all of the Tugs, right? And I don't know if that's the same guy that like the Tugs Trust got them from, but someone saved all of them. Top Hat would have been with them. They have every other character. Like, why would Top Hat not be there? Top Hat was with them.
Aren't Burke and Blair?
My theory is that the guy who saved all the props kept Top Hat. Like, if you're going to keep any of them, why would you not keep the one
With the top hat and the monocle.
Hat and the monocle and the moving head. Like, that's the funnest one. Like, why would you not keep that?
He's the best one.
So it's like, yeah. Oh, this guy says Grampus too. Grampus, I believe, is just gone. I think Grampus is Grampus was like a light vacuum form thing. I think he just deteriorated and he's thrown out.
Yeah.
Top Hat, though, I think is alive. Puffa.
Where's Puffa?
Definitely dead.
Poor Puffa.
We've seen pieces of that. That is definitely dead.
Is it
Boulder?
Is that? Listen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Japan. He's at he's on the O'Hara layout. Somehow they got that.
Cool props Boulder. We're getting him. A giant
ball with a face on it. Yeah. I'll pay $400 for that.
with Gordon's face.
Cool props, Boomer.
My goodness.
I'd be the only person in the world that would buy that, but hell yeah.
I'd buy one.
I'd buy a Tugs prop.
Oh my gosh. Good. Oh, what I would do for like a top hat or an OJ or a 10 cents, you know?
For sure.
It's
and speaking of OJ.
Yeah. See, I was planting seeds and I was like, he can do what he wants with that.
I was like, is he planting a seed? I think he's planting a seed.
I planted a seed and I was going to let you do what you wanted with it.
Okay. I noticed it. I saw your seed.
Hey, we're in sync.
So I have something I want to reveal. I haven't posted this on Twitter yet. I'm very excited about this, and I've been working on it for about 3 weeks now. Almost a month, maybe. It was like right before the coronavirus started. Let me pull it up.
Yeah.
This is huge. Really huge. I'm
rebranding as OJ.
All right. Are you guys ready for this?
Who's ready? Sound off in the chat. Cool prop smudger. Yes. Okay, go ahead, buddy.
All right. OJ, everyone. OJ.
Hell yeah.
Huge replica of OJ. This thing is 3.5 feet long. The actual prop is like 28 inches long. This is bigger than the actual prop. But yes, it's a kit I actually bought. It's called the Glasgow Paddle Tug Kit. It's yeah, I'm gonna eat it.
Oh no. Save that picture. Somebody screen cap that for us.
Someone probably did. Someone had
probably.
No, so I got this paddle tug kit online, right? It's called the Glasgow Paddle Tug Kit. Google it, just type in Glasgow Paddle Tug, it'll come up. It's a wood boat kit that's made to be converted to RC, right? And I've been eyeing it forever. I really wanted it. I'm like, I really want it. No. No. So I got it, and it's slightly different than OJ. OJ is based on a Tyne paddle tug from like Newcastle, where this is more. This was, I guess, a Scottish one. It's named Glasgow, so I'm assuming Scottish. So it's slightly different, but I've been modifying it to be more like OJ / Appleton Hall, the actual tug that's preserved that OJ is based on. Like the what do we call this? The superstructure came out further. I've cut it so it's like more flush with the splashers, like on OJ. This hole's been rebuilt. I eventually want to put a head on it, like a head that actually like turns and put the RC in it. I don't know how I'm gonna do a face. Flying Pringle offered to make a face. We might take him up on that. What I really want to do is change it so like you can take the head off and put like the actual wheelhouse that the kit comes with on. So it could be a real tug or it could be OJ. But yeah, this is where it's at the moment. It's all the basic stuff's in place. The paddle wheel works. This comes off and has this giant just hole in the middle where you can put the RC stuff. Smoke generator already has the gear in place. So yeah, expect progress on Twitter. I wanted to reveal it on the stream because I thought that'd be more fun. But yeah, really exciting. Let me show you the box this thing came in. Is that in view? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Ugh. Look at this giant fucking thing. Glasgow paddle tug. 3.5 feet long.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And I don't know if you noticed, but on the wall, those are the freaking building plans on the wall for this thing. They're just so giant. I didn't have any room, so I just put them on the wall. I'm like, all right, I'm going to build it in here. I'll just look at them on the wall as I'm putting it together. So yeah, OJ, man, that is coming soon.
So then we're going to do Top Hat for me next, right?
Yes.
And we're going to recreate scenes from tugs?
Yes, obviously.
Perfect. We're going to do all the tugs and then completely remake every episode.
Yeah. We're going to remake every fucking episode for sure.
Yeah. You remember the Thomas Creator Collective? I think that's what it was called. We're going to be the Tugs Creator Collective, but it's just us.
Duh.
It's an exclusive club. We wear pink on Wednesdays.
I don't know. Are you familiar with the user Master of the Lemons?
Yes. Yes, familiar.
Yeah, I showed you. He's doing some like really insane Tugs replicas that look so good. He did I think I showed you Blue Nose. Did I show you the Blue Nose he did?
Yeah, I saw him like Blue Nose like right before like you like it was like maybe 10 minutes before you messaged me and you were like, look at this, and I was like, I just saw this. But yeah, it's super cool.
I haven't stopped thinking about that since he did that. It's just cardboard and Flex Seal. That's what he made it with, and it's amazing. It looks just like the fucking prop.
Right.
The head moves, the eye moves, and it floats. Flex Seal. Sorry. Yeah. He used fucking Flex Seal, and then Phil Swift retweeted it. I was like, oh, that's awesome.
Oh, here we go. Polka dot side plates got us. He got you. He has the picture of you eating it.
I'm gonna eat as soon as I'm done with it. I'm just gonna take a bite out of the hole right here. It's just gonna.
Nom. And you're gonna wash it down with some orange juice.
Some orange juice. Yeah, obviously. Yeah.
Anyway.
So I'm thinking. So there's this model boat club, like not too far from me. For all of you who don't know, I live in San Francisco. I live kind of close to Golden Gate Park. And there's a lot of like lakes there, and there's a lake there that's just for model boating, right? And there's like a club that meets there, and they boat every weekend. Obviously, that's not been happening recently with coronavirus, but
which we're going to reveal how to stop it tonight at 7.
Yes, we're going to reveal the cure for coronavirus.
And just because we said that now, we're going to get demonetized. So,
shoot, let's call it something else. What's another word?
All right, guys, in the chat, we want you to come up with something better to call it. So let us know in the chat, and we'll pick the best one. Okay, so go. Oh, hold on, no, I got it. Let's call it Ben's shiny new buffer.
All right, Ben's shiny new buffers. That is the virus that's going around right now.
Thank you, Rock and Roll and Duncan.
Ben's shiny new buffers. Got it.
So all Ben's shiny new buffer is just plaguing the world right now.
Yeah, but because of Ben's shiny new buffers, this I've seen that before. The boomer remover.
The sweet and sour sticking.
Anyway, the point is, there's this model boat club nearby, and they run boats. And I'm like, I really want to run this. I think that would look really cool, just out on the water, you know. So yeah, we'll see what happens. It's gonna be a while before that happens because I still have to order like the RC, and I've never dealt with RC before. So
right,
this will be a learning curve, a big learning curve for me.
Not too dissimilar from the learning curve wooden railway line that we had once upon a time.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you for reminding me that line is now dead.
Thomas is dead, man.
Thomas is dead.
Everything in Thomas is just dead.
It is.
It's tragic.
The tragic. Speaking of tragic fail roads, maybe we should talk about the Blu-ray, because everyone keeps commenting on it in the chat, wanting us to talk about it. So let me pull it up so I can have all the information in front of me, if there is any, other than when it comes out.
I can't believe. Excuse me for a minute. I'm going to crack open a cold one over here.
What are you drinking?
I'm drinking Angry Orchard hard cider.
I am drinking water in my Black Spire Outpost water bottle. And if I get sick of that, I've got a Arnold Palmer.
I have a second Angry Orchard.
Ooh. Tug is gonna get drunk tonight, everybody.
On 2 ciders, yeah. I'm such a freaking lightweight. Yeah.
Hey. It looks like there's no information so far other than the release date.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's all that's shown so far. Comes out in so real quick. Comes out June 9th. So we are just about 2 months away from it. Blu-ray DVD combo set. That's all we got. That's all we know, and it's going to be in English.
Wow.
Thank God. Thank God.
So we don't know what the bonus features are.
Yeah, but Shout Factory does do a very good job, like we were talking about beforehand. Shout Factory does a very good job when they release something. They put hard work into it. So, for example, I think the best thing I can say is Power Rangers. They put out the first 17 seasons of Power Rangers on DVD. Every other season after that was done by Lionsgate because they have the distribution rights to the current stuff. But Shout Factory does an amazing job. Where they did Gravity Falls, they did Power Rangers, Mystery Science Theater, a bunch of horror movies, things like that. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what bonus features they get and all that kind of stuff. Like it's going to be interesting. Like they've got to put something on it than more than just the trailer and the Summer Sunday deleted scene. Like I'm hoping to see more. I'm hoping that that German behind the scenes featurette that they had on the German DVD. I'm hoping that makes it on there.
First cut. I mean, that'd be cool to have.
I wonder. I can only wonder, but who knows? Who knows? I would love to see the director's cut. I just don't know how feasible that is. But then again, we're getting a 20th anniversary of this. So, Nick, are you there? Uh-oh. Did Nick freeze? Nick. Did Nick freeze for anybody else or just me? I'm looking on my stream right now and I don't see him. Nick is dead. Okay. Awkward. Nick died. Okay, everybody. So we're all in. Well, that was hold on. He's messaging me. No, we are still going. He just messaged me and he's like, did the stream die for you? I'm like, no, we're still here. We are. Yeah. Give us an F in the chat for Unlucky Tug. Oh, wait, hold on. Wait, there he is. What happened.
Okay.
I don't know, but if I add you, there's 2 of you. So
oh my God, there's an imposter.
I'm gonna I can't remove him, so okay. That's fine.
My internet is cut out. I don't know what happened there. That was weird.
Weird, but everyone gave you an F in the chat. So
thank you guys. I love you. I'm alive. I'm alive.
Back for a second.
I came back from being dead. I came back from being dead just to die immediately. Yeah.
All right. But anyway, Magic Railroad, maybe the director's cut is what we left off on. Hopefully, maybe. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know what's going to be on there, but I know Shout Factory does it justice. So we'll just have to wait and see. We only have 2 months, so we should be getting a press release and all that good stuff fairly soon from Shout Factory. In fact, I'm going to look on their website right now and just see if there's anything. Doesn't look like it's on their website yet. No, it's not on their website yet. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens.
Cool. I mean, I'll definitely buy it.
I mean, it's not.
I don't know.
you lied for a second. I was like, no, he's gone.
Oh no.
But we're good. We're good. Don't worry. This is why I have the stream opened over here on my TV. That way I can stall if you die again.
Okay, cool.
Yes. But yeah, I don't know what more we could say about it other than I can't believe it's getting recognized for the first time since the DVD came out. all those years ago.
It's back either. I can't believe it's back. It's coming out. I mean, it's for the 20th anniversary, right? That's why they're doing it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I'll buy it. I gotta add that to my collection. You know, like
right.
You gotta.
You just gotta, man.
Just gotta.
So from here, we've been going for about an hour, which is great, but we're going to keep going. Do we want to do questions? Like,
yeah, questions.
All right, cool. So do we want to like say, hey, do we just want a free for all and then we'll pick them, or
let's just people ask questions. We'll just pick and choose the ones we have interesting answers for.
Okay, so go ahead in the chat. If you haven't seen already, we already talked about what Tug's plans are for the future. So we'll go back and rewatch the beginning of the stream, and that will basically answer everything for you. So
here's an interesting question.
Go ahead.
Thoughts on Rise of Skywalker? Yeah, that's basically my reaction as well.
The sequel trilogy can go die. So I'll let you go first.
Okay. It was terrible. It was just terrible.
Okay, real quick.
It's
better or worse than The Last Jedi?
Worse.
I think it was. I thought it was slightly better. But
okay. We're gonna have different opinions then.
That's fine because it's still hot garbage.
It's still hot garbage, yeah.
Yeah.
I think The Last Jedi, I mean, it's a bad movie. Last Jedi is a bad movie.
I think it's the worst Star Wars movie, personally. I think it's disgraceful.
I personally think Rise of Skywalker is the worst one. I think it's worse than the prequels, if I'm being perfectly honest.
I like the prequels. So
I don't hate the prequels, but I don't know. They have a lot of issues. But
of course.
One is Rise of Skywalker. Going back to Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Last Jedi, it's a bad movie, but there was like interesting stuff introduced in that.
Mm-hmm.
And they set up plot arcs that could have potentially gone somewhere and been really interesting. They set up like the whole plot with Luke and Kylo Ren. That was the best part of the movie, hands down.
Mm-hmm.
And then it goes nowhere in Rise of Skywalker. Kylo doesn't even meet Luke again.
Kylo
died thinking Luke tried to kill him.
I think Kylo should have been the main character. I don't care about Rey.
Yeah.
I really don't. She's not interesting at all. I think Kylo should have been the character we followed from beginning to end. Like, he should have been the main.
For sure.
He should have been the one to kill Sidious. It's the Rise of Skywalker. He's a Skywalker through bloodline. Like,
only Skywalker.
Right.
It's like I agree. I think they started the trilogy at like a really uninteresting point. Like the stuff that happened with Luke and Kylo, like Kylo's backstory, that would have been a way more interesting first movie in the trilogy. You get introduced to Kylo, you learn what like Han and Leia are up to right now, what Luke's doing. We just kind of get reintroduced to the universe. Kylo has his falling out, and that sets up the rest of the trilogy, you know?
Right.
Maybe Snoke or Palpatine or whoever the fuck like seduces him, like gets introduced in the first movie. Maybe then the Rey character comes in the second movie, and you basically have The Force Awakens as your second movie. And the Jedi could have been the last movie.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously you have to just do it literally. It's like, I don't know. They just like started and they didn't know what they were doing. I think the Rise of Skywalker's worst. The worst thing about it is that like it doesn't continue the story. Last Jedi does continue the story in a bad way, but you could have worked off of that. You could have done something really cool with the Luke and Kylo storyline. You could have done something with Finn and Rose. You have to. She was such an integral part of Last Jedi. And then they just ignore her and pretend she never happened. It's like, you can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do that. You can't retcon your previous movie in the last movie, set up your own, whatever you want to do now, and pretend like this is the epic finale. It doesn't work that way.
No.
It was bizarrely structured. It was completely unsatisfying. And fucking Palpatine, that was the worst part. That was one of the worst parts, was the fact he was in it.
Mm-hmm.
Why? That is, it's infuriating. I can't believe they brought him back, and they don't even explain how he lived.
Right.
That was the most insulting thing.
They
It was
do
like
in the book.
he
They
was
do in the
time
book, but
part.
that doesn't even matter. Like, I don't care. I don't want to read the novelization.
I don't care about the book.
I don't want to read the novelization to figure out why he was alive or why this happened or whatever, you know?
Right. To quote the movie, or to quote Mr. Plinkett himself, what matters is the movie. The movie is what matters.
Right.
The lore doesn't matter. It's what happens in the movie. We shouldn't have to read a novel to know the basic foundation of everything.
Right. No, I agree.
Stupid. I don't hate the fact she was in it. I love Palpatine, but it's the fact it was so half-assed. They didn't explain why he came back. They didn't explain anything. And then his defeat was just the same way he was defeated before.
Right.
It wasn't some like new interesting way. It was just literally Return of the Jedi again.
Mm-hmm.
It's so lazy. It was so they didn't give a shit. They just made whatever and just said whatever. We'll get $1 billion anyway.
Yeah.
So I hated it. I really hated it. Like for what the sorry, I want you to go into your thoughts as well. But for as much hate as the prequels get, they're bad movies too. They're badly directed, badly acted. The special effects are not that great in them. There is a story to them though. They do have that thematic presence.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it was a really good story,
Mm-hmm.
like in retrospect. Like the story of this man who was prophesized to be the chosen one,
right?
And then he falls from grace, and it's like the story of how that happened and how it completely screws over the universe. It was like the story was there. It was just badly directed. But it's the exact opposite problem with the new trilogy. The new trilogy it's.
Uh-oh. Did we lose him again? Oh, we got him. We got him. He's here. You're here. It's okay. You froze for a second, and then I was like, "Oh
no." Anyway, the point is the new trilogy doesn't have a story. They didn't have that structure, and that was a really, really, really stupid decision on their part. So,
agreed.
Anyway, you go ahead. What were your thoughts?
Oh, okay. I mean, so when it came out, I was like, well, it can't be bad as The Last Jedi, right? And I thought it was okay when I first saw it, but I think it's just because, I don't know. I think it felt a little bit more like Star Wars to me, and we finally got our main three characters together, going on a mission together, and it's like, why did it take us this long to do that? It's nothing I really care to revisit. And I could say that about the whole new trilogy, and going to Disney for my honeymoon and visiting Galaxy's Edge, I think is a huge, making it based between the Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker, the whole land, I think is a disservice to what it could be. And I feel like being there and realizing this whole thing is centered around the new trilogy is terrible. There's a very vocal part of the Star Wars fandom that does not like it. And I don't know. It feels cheap. It feels cheap. It felt like a money grab. I felt like they could have done something better to. I don't think that the sequel trilogy should have been the sequel trilogy. I think it should have been completely displaced from the Skywalker saga, like no ties, no attachments, anything. Do a Knights of the Old Republic kind of thing, or do something years and years afterwards about the new like Reign of Jedi or something like that. I don't know. I don't like it. I could care less for it. I like the first 6 movies, and I even like the Clone Wars movie better than I do these 3 movies.
Oh yeah.
So yeah,
I like The Force Awakens. I think that was a fine movie. It's the other 2 suck. So it's like there's no Awakens because the other 2 are terrible. So
right, exactly.
So it's a shame. It's
a shame. It's a shame.
Yeah. They doing The Mandalorian though, which is good. So
yeah, I enjoyed Mandalorian, and I'm very much enjoying Clone Wars right now. So at least they're doing something right.
Yep, for sure. Mandalorian, I'm looking forward to season 2.
Me too.
It's so funny. It's so funny. The Mandalorian is like the simplest thing ever. It's such a simple. This guy just like making his along the way text Baby Yoda. It's such a like it works so much better, and you'll
right.
tie everything. You should just keep doing that. Be tied to Skywalker. None of the stuff has to be tied to Skywalker. Some of the best stories in Star Wars are not related to the main plot at all.
Right.
So, yeah.
Anyway, that was good.
Anyway,
Star Wars
for that
discussion.
one.
All right, so something else. Yeah. Questions, guys. Ooh,
the question.
Oh, favorite Tugs episode.
So I went.
I was gonna pull the list up just to have it in front of me real quick.
Did you forget?
I think. No. I just want to make sure I have them all in front of me, just so I don't.
I'm just joking.
No, I know. I think it's everyone's favorite episode, but I love High Tide because it's a Top Hat episode. Yeah. But okay, let's. I'm gonna say though, Upriver. I really like Upriver.
Upriver, yeah, that's a good one.
Yes, I like the snow episodes. I think they're great. I think just the set design is really cool.
I love everything.
Yeah. To be fair, I don't hate any episode of Tugs. I think they're all very well done. Trapped is another good one. I think those are my top 3. Trapped is another one I really enjoy.
Such a funny concept for an episode.
Yeah,
it's like say Tugs is realistic. Does like take place in the real world, and like here's this funny story where like a tramper gets stuck in a river, and then like the tide builds up, and then they blow it up with dynamite, and then they all go on like this huge. It's just so fun. I think most people expect me to say my favorite episode is Jinxed, and it is. It's up there. It's a wonderful episode. I love that one. I would literally minute cut of that. I'm kidding. I'd actually kill.
Oh my gosh.
But honestly, I think my favorite episode is Missions. That episode's like crazy. That was the first one I ever saw too. I remember in 2006.
Right.
That was new to like TV.com and YouTube and all that. Like I don't know, but no idea what Tugs was. And someone on one of the forums there posted a clip that was like a 7-8 minute clip from Munitions. I think it was on the channel Random Stuffs. I don't know if any of you remember that. And I watched it and I was just like, what is this? It looks like Thomas. It feels like Thomas has like the same kind of aesthetic, but it was crazy. All these like intense voice acting and like really like amazing cinematography and these explosions and like the crane fucking dies. It was like, what the hell is this? And just like I appreciate that episode because that's the one I think most people remember. Like for a kid show, that one was pushing the boundaries so much. Like think of like any kid show. Like think of any kid show. No kid show has an episode about naval munitions that catch fire and then blows up the fucking dockyard. A character dies, and then they deal with like this huge fire. Like that doesn't happen.
Right.
I appreciate what they were doing. It's just such a spectacle to me, and I think it's a good story. Like all the characters are set up. You know, 10 Cents is set up early on with the oil barge that catches fire. Then he has a heroic moment at the end where he pushes it out. Blue Nose gets his comeuppance. It's just a good story. Like it's very well written. As are all the Tugs episodes. They're all very well written.
And I'm not trying to say you should do it now, but Tugs was one of those things I really wanted to see you do a thoughts on video on. I know we talk about it all the time, but I think it would have been just one of those cool things just to see a retrospective on the whole series. Because it is something, and maybe we could do like a live stream where we watch Tugs one day. But it's just one of those things that deserves to be talked about, I think, and deserves to be praised because it's such a cool concept and such a cool idea. And I'm really sad to see what was supposed to happen in the second season and it never ended up happening. You know,
it never happened. Like the thing is, though, like looking back at it, we love Tugs because we're Thomas fans. Like, the only people that like Tugs in 2020 are Thomas fans. No one is a Tugs fan, but not a Thomas fan. You know, through Thomas we get introduced to Tugs. So it's like we really like it, and we like it because it's basically a more intense version of Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
And as adults, we appreciate that a lot. But when you really look at it, who was the show for?
And see, that's the thing. So back when you, myself, and my brother, did those episodes. We did the James episode, and did a couple. We did the watch along episodes. We did a Tugs episode, and we showed him. I don't know which episode we showed him, but we showed him Tugs. And one of the things he asked was, "Who is this made for?" And ever since then, that's kind of stuck with me. Like, who was this made for? And it was made for fans of Thomas. It was supposed to be like its sister set show.
It was,
but like nobody talks about. And I'd say you could almost say the same about Theodore Tugboat. Nobody got into Theodore Tugboat without watching Thomas first. You know,
the thing with Theodore is Theodore managed to hit it well. It was for preschool kids.
I agree.
And it was very kiddie and very dumbed down, and that's why it was appealing.
And Tugs was just this weird kid show with not adult themes, but like craziness in it. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
It's like you look at Tugs, it just looks like anthropomorphic vehicles. It looks like Thomas, right? And to anyone, it's like, okay, this is a kiddie show for like little kids.
Right.
And that's what it was marketed as. Because you've seen like the books and like the toys for Tugs, they're like little kids toys, little kids books. Like OJ's Bad Day or whatever they're called, you know? But the show isn't for little kids. A little kid would not even understand what's happening.
Right.
Not to mention like the voice acting is it's great voice acting, but like a little kid is not going to understand half the things they're saying. Half the dialogue is like too verbose for a little kid.
They call that Izzy Gomez calls them gringos. Like,
yeah.
What? Oh my gosh. Uh-oh, did I lose him again? Nick, don't leave me. Uh-oh, we lost him. Hey.
Am I here?
Oh, wait.
Here. Cool.
Are you back? Hey, go. I'll hold the chat down. Go reset your internet real quick. All right, I'm going to DM him. One second, guys. Give us an F in the chat for Nick. All right, he's resetting his internet, guys. So it's just me for now. I'm going to hold the fort down for a moment. I will take any questions if you guys want, for me specifically. But Tug will be back in a few minutes. He's just going to reset his internet, and he's going to come back. Because we were fine earlier. Okay, here's a good one. This is a good one. Thoughts on season 6 of Thomas and Friends. So this is going to start off a little bit of a tangent and then kind of come in. I do not think season 6 and 7 should be classified as classic series. I don't even like the term classic series. I don't even like that term. I think we should have a better designation for the Thomas series. I think seasons 1 to 5 should be like the Allcroft era. I think season 6 and 7 onwards should be like the Hit era. That's just how I feel. I think just dividing it up into 2 or 3 eras doesn't do. I don't think I see like Jake, Josh. I don't think the model series is enough. I think you need to cut it down even more than that. When I watch Thomas, my favorite seasons are seasons 1 to 5. And then I like 17 to 20 as well. I think those are great as well. But like season 6, okay, well, I apologize. I don't know that, season 6 isn't a hit series. It doesn't feel like a classic series though. Like, and again, we also have to think of the fact that I am not as ingrained to Thomas as you are. I like seasons 1 to 5, and I like seasons 17 to 20, and that's it. Season 6 is fine. I can watch season 6. But I don't care for it. I could not watch season 6. Like there we go. The Ghislaine era, I think, is a better way to put it. Because you could tell there's a massive shift between seasons 1 to 5 and season 6 and 7. They're 2 completely different shifts. And I don't think I don't think that making them the same, putting them under the same like paradigm is doing it justice. So that's my opinion. I think season 6 is good. But like when I go and like when I collect Thomas, I collect UK, Japanese, French, VHS. I only go to season 5. That's where I end. I end with season 5, and I don't go any further than that. That's just me personally. If I were to find, if there was some, if I got it for a decent price, sure, but that's as far as I go. So while season 6 is good, it feels like it's the start of the fall, if that makes sense. Because I don't like season 7 at all. I think season 7 is garbage. I would not classify that as classic. And don't get me wrong, there are good things in season 6, but I feel season 6 is when the show starts to fall. I like Salty. I like Harvey. I like Elizabeth. I like Gordon Takes a Tumble. I love Thomas and the Jet Engine. But I don't love it like everyone else does it. And I think that's because I grew up, my childhood was seasons 1 to 5. And by the time season 6 came around, I was moved on to Power Rangers and Star Wars and Harry Potter and Legos. And Thomas wasn't as big of a thing in my life at that point. I still love it, but even now, I love Thomas. I bought the Cool Props Thomas, but I think I just, for me, it's seasons 1 to 5 and seasons 17 to 20. And that's my kind of headcanon, I guess. And that's kind of it. I like season 6, but I think it's the start of the fall. And he's back.
Are we good?
I think so.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Okay, good. All right, talking about 6?
Yes. I went on a little bit of a tangent just now. Are you there?
Turn
your camera off, and we'll see if that helps. Turn your camera off real quick. Uh-oh. You there? Are you there? Nick? Oh, he's back. Nick. Are you here? Okay. Yes.
Okay. Hi.
Okay. Hi. You good? I think you're coming in a lot clearer than you.
Okay. I don't know. Are we good? Okay. All right. Cool. Let's continue.
Okay. So
what are we talking about? Season 6?
So the question was, what were your thoughts on season 6? And this kind of led me into a tangent. I think that the way the Thomas fandom classifies the series and has its breakdowns of it is very flawed. I would not classify, and we've talked about this. I don't think season 6 is a classic season. I think seasons 1 to 5 are the classic era. I think season 6 is the start of the fall of Thomas. I think it's got good things going on for it, but I think that there's a very different shift between season 5 and season 6, and that's because Magic Railroad was right in between. And that movie, doing as horrible as it did, kind of impacted the.
I agree. Generally.
And I don't think, and again, I need to stress this. I don't think season 6 is bad, but I think if there's a very prominent shift to what we have.
Yeah.
No. And so while I like things about season 6, I don't love it.
I agree. I generally agree. I like season 6. Don't get me wrong.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, there are good things about season 6. There's good things about season 7, albeit very little, in my opinion. I think I see things like the old bridge, and I'm like, this is garbage. This is the same season as Gordon and Spencer. Like this.
It's like season 6. I think season 6 and 7 are very different, in my opinion.
Oh, I agree.
A lot of people like clump them together, but like
they're not.
Season 6 is like a mix of the fall, but also there's like some heart from classic Thomas still in there.
Right.
There's a lot of episodes in season 6 that feel like classic Thomas. But you're right. It is start of the fall. Like season 6 is when they started doing that shit where episodes started with Gordon pulls the express, Percy pulls the mail train. That's when that trend started. That was like, okay, we're heading in a bad direction. But I do still like season 6. 7 is where it was like very obvious to me this is going in a bad direction.
Right.
So many of the episodes in 7 are just really boring and really kiddish and bad.
And it's funny because if you watch season 7, like season 7 in the US for you and I is when they started changing the music. Some of season 7 had the engine roll call as the theme song. And if you weren't looking and saw the difference in how the show was shot, because the show was shot differently between season 6, 7, and 8, you would think it's the same thing. And that's kind of how I see it. Like, honestly, I almost lump like the New Friends for Thomas episodes. I lumped them in with season 6, mainly because 2 of them are from season 6, but I lumped them in with season 6 because they feel like season 6 episodes. Whereas almost everything else, in fact, I can't even think of an episode where I can't even think, other than the newbie episodes, I can't think of a season 7 episode that I enjoy. Other than when a new character, Bulgy Rides Again is okay. I think is the closest one you'll get.
I don't like that. That is a bad one. I don't like Bulgy Rides Again. I think that was the first episode I saw that I was like, this is, well, so no, I take that back. Percy and the Haunted Mayan was the first episode I saw where I was like, oh my God, that was bad.
Right. That's
funny enough, Bulgy Rides Again is on the same DVD as that.
Right.
And I was like, that's a really bad episode. The thing is, though, there's a lot of good ideas in both of them.
Right.
When you look at the concept art and like what they were trying to go for like the new characters and like the plots and it's like there were good ideas there. They just weren't realized very well.
Right. Like,
and I feel like, especially with 7, because 7 midway through production was when Hit came into the picture.
Right.
They had
after
that when oh crap.
No, you're good. You're good now. You're good. You're back.
If this keeps happening, we might have to end early, but
turn your camera off. Turn your camera off. See if that helps. Because then you're not funneling as much bandwidth into your picture. You there?
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
okay.
I can hear you.
All right. If this keeps continuing, we might have to end this early, but yeah. 7 had good ideas, but it just wasn't realized well. And I think that's because Hit came into the picture midway through and kind of screwed things over. Simplified scripts, made Angelus talk slower. Like it was a lot of changes. I don't hate it or anything, but I am generally with you. 6 is where the fall started. There's a lot of bad episodes in 6. There's a lot of bad episodes in 7 too. But
oh my God,
I still clump them in Classic Thomas. I still clump them in that era.
It's hard for me too because it doesn't feel like it. Like I feel like there should be and like I got yelled at in the chat for not knowing that season 6 was not. It's not the Allcroft era, but it's not the Hit era. So like I'm like seasons 1 to 5 are like the Allcroft era, and seasons 6 and 7 are like the Ghislaine era, and then you have the Hit era. And I feel that's how we need to classify it because I feel like calling it the classic era. Well, classic is different depending on who you are. Like I didn't even like in Doctor Who. I don't even like calling it the classic series because that's so many years of that's 23 seasons of a TV show in classic Doctor Who. And while I get why they call it classic Doctor Who, it's one of those things where it's like there's so many different distinctions throughout the run. There's different show writers and head runners and all that. And I just feel like seasons 1 to 7 goes through so many changes. You know, you have the first 2 seasons, which was like I would call the classic series. And then you have season 3 to 4, which are half Allcroft episodes and half the Reverence episodes. And then you have season 5, which is still great, but it's completely different. And then you have season 6, which suffers from the fall of Magic Railroad, and then you have season 7, which suffers from Hit Entertainment coming in. So it's
for sure.
There's all these paradigms coming in, and grouping them all together, it's like, you know, and like My favorite eras of Thomas are seasons 3 and 4. 3, 4, and 5, I think, are my favorite. Like, that's my favorite. I will.
I totally agree. That's the golden era of Thomas. Okay. Those 3 seasons.
Yes.
3, 4, 5.
I love seasons 1 and 2, but 3, 4, and 5 are just my childhood. You know, like I loved. You know, when as a kid, the Trust Thomas was my favorite VHS ever. It still is. Mm-hmm. Always will. Yeah. And the first. Maybe somebody in the chat can remind me because I don't know as well as everybody else was. But season 3 was split into two parts. When was that split?
After oh my god, I know this. Edward, Trevor, and the Reuseful Party. I think it's like those last 10 episodes. Right. Are like filmed later.
Right. So those basically, and that's what I thought it was. So basically, my favorite. A Scarf for Percy all the way to Edward, Trevor, and the Useful Party are like my favorite episodes to watch. Like I love those episodes. I put season 3 on so many. Like what I do when I go to sleep is I put on ASMR for like an hour and then transition to season 3, the US version of season 3. And so if I wake up in the middle of the night, I'm mainly hearing those 13 or so episodes that I love.
Right.
And not to say that the other episodes are bad. I like season 3. But, I love season 4. I love season 5. But those are like my episodes. That's what I grew up with. And I define as classic. But I don't think you can call that classic Thomas, Like, you know what I mean? Like classic is so subjective.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I think it's subjective in the fact that, well, a lot of people are going to like, well, it's funny. Like, how do I put this into words? I think when you say classic Thomas, I don't think that is actually a subjective statement. I think that is an objective statement.
Mm-hmm.
For 5 seasons, that's Thomas.
No,
but people have like their own preferences of what their Thomas is because the people grew up with different eras. Like people born in like 2000 grew up with season 6 or 7. It's
right. And
that's their classic Thomas, but it's not really classic Thomas. Isn't like it deserves the title. It's more so like that. That's their Thomas. I don't know.
Right. It's their definition of Thomas. It's what got them into Thomas. And
exactly.
It's so there's so much that Thomas has gone through such a roller coaster of production runners and stories and companies and animation departments. It's very weird to it's weird watching Henry's Forest or Mavis or Time for Trouble and then seeing Thomas with a balloon attached to his buffers and
oh my god,
so bad.
For what it's worth, since we brought up the hit era, there's some little nuggets of good in the hit era.
Like I love.
They're good episodes.
Parts of season 11. I remember season 11 is when I really got back into Thomas.
Yeah,
because there were some good episodes. Some, but the toys were amazing then. Like I loved the toys during that era.
That's very true.
Yeah,
it was a fun era to buy toys. That's for sure.
Right. It was the Trackmaster era, like the Trackmaster era. Like it was what I remember,
I remember that.
TV.com. We would be on TV.com talking about the new episodes and look at the new Thomas Trackmaster toys that came out. Oh my God, they made Peter Sam. Oh my God, they did.
That was insane. I remember that. They did Harry and Bert. Yeah, like what the hell?
they did Hector with the red coach, and everyone flipped out.
That was a fun time. That was a fun time to be a Thomas fan. It was right around that time too, when like we were first like online. The first online fandom started. That was really fun. Not to go off topic, is there a way I can change my like person icon here?
If you leave the stream, you could change it real quick and come back.
The stream's not going to end if I leave, right?
No, because you've died a couple times, and it's I'm still logged in, so it's going because of me. If we both,
I'm going to do that.
Yeah, go ahead and do that.
All right, hold on the fort.
Yeah. So just real quick, guys. If you like certain eras of Thomas that I don't like, that's fine. Like I'm not going to judge you for it. Whatever gets people liking the show and exposed to the show is what I care about. There's stuff that I'm going to see as fresh crap, and there's stuff that I'm going to always love. Seasons 1 to 5, I will always love seasons 1 to 5. It's my Thomas. Season 17 to 20 is like the Renaissance for me. So I love, for the most part, 17 to 20 and the movies that are associated with it. Season 6 to 16, it's hit and miss. Anything past season 20, I mean, season 21 has some okay bits, but that's when the fall started again, in my opinion. Hold on. So what's that white and red figure in the corner? That is, this guy right here is Brave Gigant Kyoryugen. If any of you know Power Rangers, it's adapted from a Japanese TV show. There's my favorite season is Juden Sentai Kyoryuger, which was adapted into Dino Charge over here. And they did a spin-off series in South Korea, which is the only time Sentai got its a second season for an existing show. And that is one of the Megazord combinations. I'm putting my room together. Somebody asked earlier why I had boxes around. I got married maybe about 2 months, not even 2 months ago. And we're just moving in, and this room has not been a priority. So we've been doing the living room and the bedroom, and this is my room where all my stuff is. So I'm slowly building up this room. So as you guys come to these live streams that we're doing, you'll see the growth of this room and expansions. But for right now, I just got some toys out and all that. Any other questions for me while we're waiting for Tug to come back? Anything personally for me? Thank you, Ryan Sock, for the congrats. Yeah, I love my wife. She's great. She likes Thomas too. We've been watching. I kind of sprinkled episodes through, and she really likes season 3. And she finds it's funny. She finds it to be funny in certain circumstances. And I'm going to bring this up when Nick comes back. Anyway, yes, this stream will be on YouTube afterwards. An average Thomas fan. This will be available. Tug is coming back. Tug is coming back. Don't worry. He's just changing some stuff. I don't know what her favorite episode is. Her favorite Thomas episode is. I'll have to ask her for you guys because I'm not too sure. Favorite Harry Potter book? Order of the Phoenix. It's my favorite.
Hi.
Hey, he's back. Hey. Real quick, I'm going to take one more. Thoughts on The Great Discovery. Nick will tell you that I love The Great Discovery. I love The Great Discovery.
I actually quite like it too.
I think
Thomas.
It's the swan song. It's Thomas's swan song.
It really is.
I think the model series. The model.
I'm not going to say it's amazingly well written or anything, and I think Pierce Brosnan's kind of a boring narrator. But I like the idea.
I think he just didn't have enough chance. Yeah. Okay. Here's a good one. Yeah.
Oh, okay. This is going to be an interesting.
All right. So we have. Let's just set the stage. Ringo Starr, George Carlin, Alec Baldwin.
Oh,
no, I'm listing them. I'm listing them. I'm not ranking them. No, but we have Ringo, George, Alec, Michael, and Michael.
And Mark.
Mark. I forget about Mark, which is weird. Because to me, when I listen to his stuff, he sounds a lot like Michael Angelis, and I'm like,
they
kind of sound similar. Oh, he is. I agree.
Yeah, he does sound similar.
And Pierce, I guess, and Pierce too, but he only did one, so
it's hard to.
Yeah. Okay, so I think we're in agreement if who the best narrator is.
I mean, it's George Carlin.
It's George Carlin.
I think literally every. Well, maybe grow up with George Carlin, but like, he's the best one,
right?
Hands down. George Carlin's the best narrator.
I agree. I talk about this a lot with Nick, or not a lot, but I bring it up every now and again. I would love to see what he would have done with season 5. I would have loved to have seen a George Carlin season 5.
Can you imagine season 5 with Carlin? That would.
I want to know what his cranky voice was,
dude. I'm picturing like the gruff voice, like the gruff, like bully voice he did with George. Like I'm picturing that on Cranky.
Yeah. Oh my god.
It's so satisfying.
But no, Carlin is, in our opinion, the best narrator, just hands down.
Yep. Number 2 is Baldwin, hands down.
Season
fucking love
5
Alec
Baldwin is the best.
I don't even dislike him that much in 6.
He just doesn't try.
He isn't as good in 6. I will give you that. He's not as good in 6.
He does a Gordon voice, a Sir Topham Hatt voice, a girl voice, and everybody else in season 6.
See, here's the thing. I agree, but here's the thing. Like, it comes down a narrator is so much more than just the voices he does for the characters. It's a voice. It's a soothing voice to listen to. I think Alec Baldwin does have a nice voice to listen to. I don't think Michael Brandon does.
No, I don't think so.
I can't listen to Michael Brandon for
which is
20
funny
minutes,
because if you see like that Michael Brandon like World War II thing that they put over.
I have seen that.
Yeah. I think if he would have if this had been a different era, I think if he had done that voice, it would have been a lot more enjoyable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the way he does it in his entire run of Thomas is just, in my opinion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I know what you mean.
So George and Alec.
Number 3, that is a hard one. I think most people would say Ringo Starr is number 3. I'm gonna say Mark Morgan. I like Mark Morgan a lot. I don't know if have you heard the what are those called? The Engine Story books. What are those called?
Oh,
they come out of the UK.
Yeah.
Like they released a lot of those on, I think it was iTunes. I can't remember where they released it, but they had Mark Morgan narrate like all of them. And people have like uploaded the recordings of the narration, and he does the voices.
I'll have to check that out.
And he's pretty accurate with the voices too.
I'll have to check that out.
He's actually a really what?
I'll have to check that out. That sounds really cool.
Oh yeah, it's great. He's a really great narrator. I think he would have been like, he would have fit really well as like a classic Thomas narrator.
I like Ringo a lot, and I'm going to make the bold statement that Ringo was a better Mr. Conductor than George was, but George was a better narrator. And I think because Ringo is such an interesting person to begin with, he brought that, not silliness, but he brought himself into the character. I don't know how else to put it.
I can't really comment on that because I don't really remember Shining Time that much. I did watch it all the time as a kid, but
I did a little bit of a rewatch not too long ago, but it wasn't like a full rewatch. I was just kind of it was more like I don't remember Ringo as Mr. Conductor, and I kind of want to go back and rewatch it. And he's just so goofy. He's so goofy in it, and I love it. Like, and he's such a different Mr. Conductor, which is interesting. But anyway,
yeah, I guess I would agree. I'd have to like rewatch to really know. I mean, the only Mr. Conductor like actor that sticks in my mind is Alec Baldwin, just because of Magic Railroad.
Right.
Yeah. For the record, I mean, if we're going to include that, Alec Baldwin is great as Mr. Conductor. His performance is so freaking funny.
He commits to it. He commits to it. Say what you want about the movie. He commits to
it. He weirdly commits to it like a lot, and I don't know why. I don't know
why. Sparkle.
He like goes all
Sparkle. Sparkle.
Yeah. What are we at? Would you put?
What was that?
Would you put Ringo as number 3, or
I'd say he's probably after Mark, but I think it depends on my mood. You know, like there's sometimes I'm in the mood to listen to season 3 Michelangelos, and there's sometimes I'm in the mood to listen to Ringo Starr. You know, like I was on a huge Ringo kick for the longest time. Like I have I still use a Zune. I'm that guy. But I have a Zune.
2020, man.
I know. I have a Zune, and it's out there, but I have a Zune HD that I use, and I have every single Thomas VHS from seasons 1 to 5 on there. And then I forget who did it, and I apologize, but somebody did their own version of the remaining Ringo episodes as a VHS. I forget who did it. But it had Percy Takes the Plunge.
I remember this. Yeah.
It had Percy Takes the Plunge and the Trevor episodes and the Ghostly Trick episodes and all that.
Yeah,
I listened to those 6 for like the longest time because I was on such a Ringo kick. But I don't know. They're all good. All the ones we've mentioned so far are good in their own right, I think.
I think it's after these four is when we start getting into the territory.
And I think it depends on their era. Like, I like Michael Angelos in season 3, 4, and 5.
Michael Angelos, you kind of have to rank in two different parts,
Yes,
you know, because like Michael Angelos in like season 5 is wonderful. He's great.
Like it's
I can't cranky pathetically.
Like, he does such a good job when he first.
He's great. He's great in season 5. He's awesome then. But then you get to like season 7 onwards, and he's just unbearable.
Right, and that's not. I don't think
I hate him.
It's not fully his fault.
No, it's partly hit. Hit probably made him talk slower. Like, I can't imagine he just did that on his own.
Right.
You go from like seasons. If you watch the UK version of 6 and then go to 7, it's such a drastic change.
Right, and it's funny because when they brought him over to narrate, when in between Baldwin and Michael Brandon coming in, he narrated New Friends for Thomas, and I was like, oh no, I don't like this guy. I hope he doesn't stay.
Oh, I was so confused. Yeah,
and then he doesn't, and I was like, oh, okay.
I was so confused when I first heard his voice. That was so off-putting.
There were so many things he would say that I couldn't understand what he was saying. Like specifically in the Jack and Alfie episodes, like when he hits the important keystone, I had no idea what that word is. Like, what is he saying? He hit the important what? Like, I had no idea what he was saying.
I don't know what it is. I feel like Emily's New Coaches is like the worst episode he's ever narrated, and it's just like some of the lines in that are just like I can't understand what he's saying. Like, one in particular, it's like right at the beginning when they're at Knapford, and Mr. Topmouth's like talking to them. He's all like, "Everybody go pick up your cultures, please." Like, what are you saying?
And that was our first exposure to him too.
Yeah. We got like the worst episodes with him.
So yeah, I would agree. You have to divide him up into two different kind of stages, I think.
I think I would put Michael Angelos like season 3 to 5 or 3, like that era of Angelos, like above Ringo.
I agree.
Then Ringo would be 5.
And then we just don't talk about the rest.
And Pierce. Okay. We just don't talk about the rest.
I like Pierce. I just don't think he was given the opportunity to really shine.
Yeah, that's true.
And I could also see it. The thing that always struck me is on the interview they did on the Great Discovery DVD is that he talks about reading the Thomas stories to his kids at bedtime. And when I watch The Great Discovery, I feel like he's telling a bedtime story. He's got that calm, soothing voice. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he does. He definitely has like the bedtime story feel to him. Like,
right.
Like I agree with that. But when you're not trying to go to bed, it's a little a little boring.
No, I agree. And then I never liked Michael Brandon's narrations.
Michael Brandon is...
He's a great actor. He's a great actor. I just don't like his narrations.
It's hard with me with Brandon. I don't like Brandon, but I think he has moments where he does do pretty well. Like, I know the Nitrogen era is fucking terrible, but I thought he was better there because he was just a narrator. Right. And he's not that bad in it. Like Blue Mountain Mystery, he's not that bad in it.
Oh, no, I agree. Agreed.
But the voices Brandon does, like they're just awful.
Hello, Emily. Oh God.
What was his Gordon voice in season 7? Like, why did he sound like that?
You'll never catch me looking so ridiculous.
Decorations are undignified. What was that?
I just think of your review when you did season 7. It's like, he tried.
he tried. Oh man! All right, let's get a new question.
Yeah, next question.
All right, Alex Jones keeps asking this about our thoughts on Thomas on Netflix. I keep seeing him post this.
They're not good episodes, so I don't care.
Yeah, I I mean, yeah, I mean, what is it, season 23? Yeah, whatever,
Yeah.
terrible episodes. But I do think this is something they should have done
years
a
ago.
long time ago.
Yeah.
This is something they should have done like season 19, if not earlier, you know.
Right.
They missed the boat on this. I'm glad it's on Netflix now, because now it's going to get exposure, but it's like it's the lack of exposure that's why we're in the situation we're in right now.
Guys, the show is here, and here's the thing: if you haven't accepted it yet, you need to accept it. The show is ending. This is the worst time to put it on there.
Yeah, it's basically over. Yep,
it's over.
It's like it's done. I really do wish they put it on Netflix sooner. I wonder. All right, let's think about this. The reason they told stupid Bubba rebrand was because Thomas wasn't selling.
I've never heard it said like that. I love that. Bubba.
For the record, Big World Big Adventures, BWBA. I call it Bubba. All right, so moving on. Where is it called Bubba?
I love that. I love that so much.
So Bubba, the whole reason Bubba. The whole reason Bubba is they rebranded Thomas to make it more marketable is because it wasn't exposed. It wasn't making money.
Right.
And I think that had to do with the fact that it wasn't doing well on PBS, and then like they struggled to get on like Nick Jr. And Nick Jr. is like a channel that you have to like pay for, so it's like no one was really watching it.
Mm-hmm.
If it was exposed more, if it was like on Netflix when we had like amazing episodes like season 20 and season 19, like it would be in such a different position now. Imagine what it would be like. Bubba wouldn't even happen. Like it's a shame. It's a fucking shame.
It is a shame. It's because I really think season 17 to 20 was like the renaissance of Thomas. It's when it came back. It was strong. We were all excited about it, and yeah, there were some stinkers in there, but it didn't kill. We got the small railway engines in the show after 20 seasons.
Yup.
You can't say that. Like, and the way they did it was beautiful. The way they introduced it, and they did the 3 episodes from the railway series. It's perfect. It was so well done for new Thomas. I wanted to see more like that. I wanted to see Super Rescue. I wanted to see Triple Header. We didn't get it.
Speaking of Super Rescue, I want to bring this up because all right. So we all know season 21 got cut short. There were like I think they had like 6 more episodes or something that they had planned. I don't know how many. Maybe it was 8 more. I don't know. But we all know that they got cut short. And I always wondered, did they have like a send-off episode for Henry planned? And they just got rid of it because they ran out of time or whatever the reason was.
Right.
Like Edward got one. It was a terrible episode.
Honestly, I can watch season 21 if we take out that episode.
So so can I. I think that's like the main detractor of that season.
Oh, it is.
But let me pose this question to you. Let's say they did write a send-off episode for Henry, right? And let's say that episode was Super Rescue. They actually adapted it. They brought in D199 and Bear, and they did the whole episode. Henry has this really heroic moment,
right?
But it ends with him leaving Tidmouth Sheds. How would you feel about that? Because it's the best railway series story finally in the show, but it ends with like the worst thing ever.
I think
how would you feel?
I think you would have to write it correctly. I think if at the end of the episode you had Henry go to Tidmouth Sheds that night. Is Edward gone at this point? I don't remember.
Yeah, I guess it would be after.
So Edward goes to so Edward's gone. Henry goes back to Tidmouth Sheds, and then Sir Topham Hatt comes to him and says, You and Bear did such an amazing job today. I want you to work with Bear more often, and I would like to move you to Vickerstown to be in charge of the freight line there. And he's like, and if he said, I want to give you this opportunity to continue to work hard with Bear, but you're going to have to move to the other side of the island. I would have been more okay with it than what Edward.
That's actually, I didn't think about that part, like how Bear would be involved. Like that's,
if you would have,
I don't know if I would like it, but
at least I would have been more okay with it.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Honestly, I don't think they should have kicked anyone out of Tin Sheds. I think they
Well,
should have either they should have number one made the shed bigger, like in the Railway series, like that giant roundhouse kind of. You know what I mean? Like that you see it in some of the like the Missing Christmas Tree book. I think it's in.
Yeah, the Chris Audrey like big roundhouse. Yeah.
Do that roundhouse, or put Thomas, Percy, and Toby on Thomas's branch line and make the shed for Gordon, Henry, James, Rebecca, Edward, Donald, Douglas. You know, that's just me. And I wouldn't care if you put Nia in at Tidmouth. I don't like her, but if you would have put her, if you didn't have her replace characters and you shuffled everyone around, you know what I mean? I would have been more okay with that because they did it in the classic series and we never batted an eye. You know,
I kind of that's what I was gonna say. I just wish they would get rid of the whole Tidmouth Sheds concept altogether. Like,
right?
I get
it has to be that way from
marketing. It has to be that way from a marketing perspective. I get it, but I just wish they would get rid of it. Like,
but first they'd have to market the show. You know, like they don't even market it anymore, so it's not even a marketing thing anymore.
That's true. That's true. I wish they would just get rid of the whole Tidmouth Sheds concept and like these 7 engines only sleep here, no one else. I just wish they would just shuffle engines around. Like
they did all the time in the classic
series. Sometimes Thomas sleeps there. Sometimes whoever sleeps. It's just whoever's around. Right. Whoever is needed for the story that's who sleeps there. Maybe there's some empty stalls sometimes, you know, like we don't need to have the same 7 all together.
No.
I would prefer if they were like in locations that made sense, like Thomas, Percy, Toby at Farquhar, mainline engines at the big shed. Hell, put Edward at Wellsworth, whatever. You know, it's like I would prefer that. I just want them to get rid of this concept because I think they're tied down to it, and now they're forced to write these episodes with these 2 new girl characters that they have because and it's like they're terrible. What are Nia and Rebecca? What are their characters? What are their characters? Nothing.
I don't care for Nia in the slightest, but Rebecca is just girl Henry. That's all she is. She's a timid, soft-spoken, big engine. Did I lose you? Nick. Yes, I hear you.
Can you hear me?
Hi.
There we go.
Yeah, I can hear you. We're good. But Nia is just girl Henry. Or I'm sorry, Rebecca is girl Henry. No, I agree. I think Rebecca.
Yep.
No, I didn't hear you. Yep. I couldn't hear you.
Okay.
I didn't hear anything you said, so go ahead. Say it again.
Okay, you can hear me now?
Yes, I just didn't hear what you said beforehand.
Okay, there's a little bit of a lag now.
Okay.
Rebecca is like, she is, how do I put this? She doesn't have character flaws, and that's why she sucks. Henry has character flaws. All right, like Henry, I mean, like, I know he's not very written very well in the modern era, but he still has flaws. And that's his character. Like, that's what makes these characters interesting. All of those 7 characters, maybe not Emily so much, but they have character flaws. Rebecca doesn't. She's just perfect all the time. Granted, I haven't seen every episode with Rebecca in it, but like she's so like everyone wants to be her. It's terrible. And then Nia is just, she's diversity like check mark on a list. Like it's like she doesn't have a character.
She doesn't. She can't count.
I don't mind the fact they introduced like new girl characters. I don't mind that at all. I don't care that they want to push them. Like, that's fine. They've done that before. Like, remember when Mariam was like a main character in Soder's Legend of the Lost Treasure? Like, I don't care that they do that every now and then. Like, that's fine. But
and why did they rebrand Rosie? Like, completely rebranded her, and they don't even use her.
Yeah.
Like, she would have been. I would have been fine if they would put Rosie in Tidmouth Sheds. Like have that big Chris Audrey Tidmouth Sheds with the Steam team, add Nia, add Rebecca, add Rosie, add Duck, add Donald, add Douglas, add Oliver, and you're good.
Rosie, I thought the whole idea, like maybe this was the idea at one point, I don't know, but The fact they like rebranded Rosie and reintroduced her, I thought the idea was she was going to move into Tidmouth Sheds. I thought that's what they were like alluding to, and then she just didn't. So like, what was the point? They brought her back for what? She had what, one episode in blah blah, and then that was it.
Yeah, with Thomas when they were doing the shipping stuff, and oh my god, what a horrible way to start your new branding thing by justifying Thomas fan fiction in that sense of the lovey-dovey stuff. You justified it.
That was such a weird episode. Yeah, I did not like that at all. That was like season 22 just felt like weird fandom, like entirety. The whole thing just felt like weird fandom shit. It didn't feel like a real season.
It was a big oof.
Big oof, yeah.
Somebody said a couple comments ago, or how much they pushed Daisy in season 20 and 21. But see, here's the thing. They did it right. They did Daisy correctly. When
Daisy had a character.
That's the thing. Every time she might be this stuck-up, snobby character, but in every single episode she's in, she shines. And she has character. And she's interesting. And she gets into new conflict. And every conflict is different. When she was lying to Ryan, that was one thing. Because she's taking advantage of somebody.
Yep.
When she doesn't like Annie and Clarabelle, it's because they don't like each other. And that's the way they're going to act like jerks to each other.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but that episode, the rail car and the coaches, that is like maybe one of the best episodes of the CGI era.
I agree.
The fact you got an episode where Daisy, Annie, and Clarabelle have a cat fight
after like one interaction in season 2.
Like, I can't believe that existed. Like,
right. It's such a good episode.
It's such a good episode. It's amazing.
And this is why I love Daisy, is because she's such a snobby character, and we don't have any really. James is snobby, but he's snobby in a different way.
Right. And everything you just described about Daisy, they're character flaws, and that's why she's an interesting character, because she's.
I said do you remember my 4 favorite Thomas characters I said earlier? Thomas, James, Gordon, Sirhandle. Really? Some of the biggest flawed characters in the show, but I love them. Sirhandle's a little shit, but I love him.
They're all little shits.
Right.
Everyone you just listed is a little shit.
Right. Okay.
But that's what makes them so great. That's what makes them so great. All the Audrey characters, all of them are little shits, and that's why they're awesome. They're all flawed. They all argue with each other, and that's what makes them interesting.
So this brings me to a point I was going to bring up earlier when you had died. And I said I was going to save this. This is a perfect time to bring it up. So Abby and I have been watching Thomas, not like sitting down and watching it, but when we're in the car and like I have it on at night when we're sleeping, she picks up on it, and she's basically seen everything from seasons 1 to 5. Do you know? And I love that she picked this up. She said, they're all assholes. They're just all assholes to each other. And I'm like,
yeah.
The first 5 seasons of Thomas are all the engines being jerks to each other. Thomas and Percy are best friends, but they bicker constantly.
That's
Gordon
why
the
they're
jerk.
so entertaining. That's why they're such good characters.
Right. And
like, I love the fact that they're just assholes to each other. I love that. And they're too nice in the new show.
And what a great way to raise your kids. The biggest moral you could ever teach your kid is don't be an asshole or you're going to get your comeuppance. I got 5 seasons of a TV show to tell you. You're going to get your comeuppance.
I mean, that's like literally every episode, right? I mean, that's like the core of every episode.
Right.
Don't be an asshole. Oh, man. There are good characters in the hit era and the CGI era, too, for the record.
That is okay. I'm gonna call you out right here. That's not the problem. The problem is they don't have character flaws. This is just like it's like Captain Marvel not being a great superhero in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, in my opinion, because she doesn't have any flaws. She's just perfect, and you don't have that relatability. You don't get to see her grow. And I think Emily does have character flaws in the earlier episodes. I think she does, but Nie and Rebecca,
they kind of modeled them in the new one. Yeah,
I don't think they have any approachable character flaws. So, and I just when you look at those characters, they need to have some sort of flaw. Every character in every bit of media needs to have a flaw. Everyone needs to have a flaw because We as humans have flaws. Rey does not have any flaws. And that's why I don't like Rey, because she's just perfect at what she does.
Yep.
Captain Marvel, she's perfect. She doesn't have any flaws. There's no, yes, Sidurian Railway Modeler, depth. I want depth. Thomas, as a character from season 1 to season 5, grows as a character. He grows. If you watch seasons 1 to 5, he's a cheeky little jerk in season 1. And then by season 5, when James is complaining in, I believe it's Make Someone Happy, he says, why don't you care about someone or someone else for a change? You'll be surprised when you feel better when you do. He grew from being a cheeky little jerk to a respectable, like, level-headed person.
Exactly. I mean, it's very subtle, but if you look at seasons 1 through 5, Thomas does have this ever-changing character arc. He's such a little shithead in season 1, and he.
Would you like to take this one?
We're not going to call out people here.
Well, no. I'm just saying. I think I'm not okay, and I'm not calling. I'm just saying he's providing. He's challenging us, so I'm giving him a response. Like, why do people like Edward? Edward probably has been through all this. So is Toby. Edward and Toby are the grandpas.
Edward's such a great character because he's so experienced. He's been around since the beginning. He has all this experience and all of this, like, what's the word? Just like he knows everything, right?
Him and Toby.
And you know what? And to like the writer's credit, I get why they haven't done a lot with Edward in recent years, because how do you write a character that's perfect all the time? Not perfect, but like he's seen so much and he's not going to make mistakes. The most interesting stories are from characters who have flaws and make mistakes.
Right.
But Edward does have flaws. Edward could easily, I don't understand why they never did this. Write an episode where Edward, like, everyone comes to Edward for like advice or whatever, and it just kind of like builds up and he eventually like lashes out at the engines. I don't know why they never did an episode like that.
Mm-hmm.
But going back to why Edward's like the best character, he's the best character because, I mean, one of my favorite stories in the Railway series ever is Edward's exploit. And I think that Old Iron.
Uh-oh. We lost you, buddy.
The whole point is, fuck.
You said, I heard Old Iron. So yeah, start from Old Iron.
Yeah. So Edward's exploit, Old Iron, like the points of those episodes is that Edward is old. He's outdated. You know, he doesn't keep up with the rest because he is an old ancient, like Edwardian era engine. But if you have to put him to the test, he will follow through.
Mm-hmm.
That's Edward's character. No matter how dire a situation Edward is in, he will push till the end until he literally can't anymore. That was the whole point of Edward's exploit. He was in the original book anyway. Look at like the situation he was in. He was pulling a loaded train. I mean, in the show, it was like 3 coaches. It looked really measly. But like in the books, it was a loaded train full of enthusiasts, packed to the brim. He was going uphill. It was raining. The rails were wet. His side rod broke and like damaged him. He couldn't move one of his driving wheels. He was like in the worst situation ever, but it didn't matter. He still pushed through and he was heroic and made it to the end. It's like, that's Edward's character. And that's why Edward is so wonderful.
And that is character. Not every character needs growth, because you need your experienced characters, but you need to show that your experienced characters are still going through trials. That is a trial that Edward was going through. Toby goes through a trial of him being the oldest engine there, and he can't do a whole lot, but he's still helpful in certain situations. He's on Thomas's branch line for a reason. He's not going to be pulling the express, but he is useful in his own right there. Whereas Edward is going to be useful pretty much anywhere, you know?
Yeah.
It's
Edward. This is why, like, I mean, if you want to go into like the lore of it, Edward was one of the first engines on the railway. I assume he was a part of like a class of like 5 or 6 engines that looked just like him, and he was the one that survived.
Right.
There's a reason they kept him around. They kept him around because he's so reliable. He's so trustworthy, and he pushes himself.
Right.
That's why he's still around today, and it's I don't know. I don't know. For all the things that like the TV show does, nothing infuriates me more than the fact they wrote Edward out. I will never forgive him for that.
But yeah. All right. You want to move on to a new question?
Sure. Let's move on to a new question.
All right, guys, hit us with something. Maybe something not so negative. Not negative, but like what about merchandise? Let's talk about merchandise.
Ooh.
Somebody hit us with some merchandise. Merchandise question. If you want to
how about I got one.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on Thomas Wood?
I don't have a trash can in here, so there's a reason it's canceled. There's a reason it's canceled.
I mean, it's basically done. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's officially canceled, but it doesn't sound like it's going any further.
Right. Like, I don't know.
It's pretty bad. I don't know. I don't think any of the merchandise lines are good anymore. I mean,
I don't think
there's still like Bachman's still around. Bachman's still good.
Yeah. I mean, I guess more for affordable. Hold on. Here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go.
The Ertl. Okay. Here, I'm going to say something controversial about Ertl. For everyone, Ertl is like the gold range because it was like around during Classic Thomas. Everyone loves the packaging styles of Ertl. I love Ertl. Ertl's great, but I don't think the engine or the toys are really that accurate.
They're not. Gordon,
and it always bugged me that Gordon was like really tiny, and then Peter Sam was like twice as high. Like stuff like that bugged me. But what's so fun about Ertl is that they did everything. They did everything. The fucking post van, like they did everything. The Dyson low loader, like literally everything.
They did.
And it was a fun range to collect.
It was a sticker change, but they made Falcon. You know, like they didn't have to do that.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's what I love about it is that they just did everything. Like, has any other range done that? Wooden Railway, I think, is probably the closest. They've done like almost everything too.
I can't think of something that Wooden Railway hasn't done that's prominent. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, they've done basically every character.
Right.
They've done a lot of variants of characters. I don't know, that's what's fun about Ertl is that it's just fun to collect. It's like what other range can you get the crane with the caterpillar tracks that appears in season 3? Like,
right. and then you could take those vehicles and use them. Like I always use those Ertl vehicles with like my Tomy trains. Like the scaling wasn't. Oh yeah. The scaling wasn't perfect, but it still worked. You know.
Yeah. I did too. I mix and match, of course. Everyone does.
Right. Who didn't as a kid? And I mean, I was lucky and I was able to have quite my parents. I mean, I was the first child. My parents spoiled me. I had every Wooden Railway, everything, you know, like I had all the Ertl engines. When I got into Tomy, they got me the Tomy stuff, but that's because Thomas was everything when I was really young. But the great part about it was if you didn't have something, you could mix and match and it didn't matter, you know, like you would still have fun with it. Like I didn't have Clarabelle for the longest time because my parents weren't convinced that Annie and Clarabelle were two separate characters. And I'd pointed out them on the screen every time. And my grandfather took me to the store one day and said, "Who do you want?" I was like, "I want Clarabelle." And he's like, "Okay." And that's how I got Clarabelle.
I remember when they would sell them separately. Yeah, it was a
long time ago.
It was a long time ago. Yeah. I don't really buy Thomas merch anymore. For the record,
I don't either. I think I buy. What do I got? Large. I buy large scale, which is coming back.
I haven't. I think the last like actual Thomas item I bought was Bachmann Reneus, and that came out in 2018. When did that come out?
2018.
2018.
Because Rusty was.
Yeah, I think that's like the last thing I can remember like buying. When I will buy the Daisy, I can't believe they're doing Daisy.
I can't wait to see how that.
I will absolutely buy that, just to support it.
Right. I think. Trying to think the last like Thomas thing I bought that wasn't like old. Like I went to the store and bought it. I don't.
Yeah, I don't know.
Take along Rex or take and play Rex, Mike, and Bert. I think.
Yeah. Oh my God. 5 years ago.
Unless minis were in there somewhere. Like I probably, oh, you know what? I probably bought some minis in there when minis were good.
Minis.
But like the Power Ranger Thomas minis, that was made for me. Like they knew. They're like, we're gonna reward this guy who's been with us this whole time. But like I mean I can I reach it? Hold on, I can reach it. Give me a second. But like what I buy now, but like I don't, and you know this, Nick. I buy media. That's all I buy.
There you go.
That's all I buy. Like I mean I can't, like, the problem is I can't invest the money into Wooden Railway like some people have. I wish I could buy brand new old 1992 Wooden Railway, stuff, but I can't. I don't have the money for that. I'm too invested in other things,
Yeah. There's too much. There's too much to spend money on.
There really is. I'm kind of.
You gotta like pick and choose your hobbies. I like model trains. It's like that's kind of really what I can spend my excess money on.
Yeah, and that's how I feel. Like, I mean, I do Power Rangers and all that kind of stuff, but like I want to do I want to do a large scale railway in my backyard one day. I want to do an HO railway. I want to do a small coffee table end scale railway, but like I don't think I could ever go Thomas, for anything other than large scale. I couldn't do a Thomas. I can't do Thomas HO. Like, there's too many flaws in some of my favorite characters to bother. Narrow gauge I could probably do. Like, whenever they do Sir Handel, I'm all in. But
they freaking better.
If they don't do Sir Handel, I will riot.
It's like, I'm not going to be upset if they never do Duncan, but they got to do Sir Handel. They got to do 1 through 4, the 4 little engines. They got to do it. They got to do it.
But
this is an interesting comment. You mentioned this. The Richard series. You watched that before, right?
Oh yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, this is an interesting question. What are your thoughts on it?
If I were in charge, if you came to me tomorrow and said, Kevin, you're in charge of Thomas now, and you're gonna do, you're gonna bring the series back, I'd call Carson and ask his permission to do every episode he's done with. I don't know who narrates the Richard episodes, but I love him. I think whoever narrates it, I want your autograph, dude. I love your narration a lot. And this isn't to discredit anybody else, but I'm always weary of, and this is nothing personal to anybody, but I'm always weary of fan series because sometimes they're good and sometimes they're bad. And I'm not going to go out and say who's bad and who's what, but I love Carson's series and whoever narrates the Richard episodes.
He's great.
I would have him narrate the series. That'd be my number 1. And number 2, I would ask Carson if we could use those episodes in the official TV show. The Richard episodes are a Railway series book, and I love it.
It feels like it. Yeah, it's a proper 4-parter. Yeah, it totally does. I really like that series too.
Yeah,
I think
every episode he's done after that have been wonderful. The Thomas and Birdie episode, the one where Richard meets Thomas and all that. I love it. I love them.
I really like it too. I to go to your point about the narrator. I think his name's Jake. He's the guy that narrates it, Knapford Harbor. I could be wrong. Someone in the comments correct me if I'm wrong.
Right.
But he's excellent. I think that's what makes that. Like the visuals are also really great and the writing, but like
it's the visuals, the writing, the music.
I think it's something that's so overlooked in fan productions is the quality of the voice work.
Right.
Like it's fun to get a lot of your friends together and provide voices for your fan series. And it can be fun. And sometimes it can be really good.
Right.
But one of my little pet peeves is like, sometimes people just can't voice act and they're just not good. And also like varying audio quality when you have a bunch of people together and that audio quality is different. It's very noticeable and it takes you out of it. The consistency of the narration in the Richard stuff is just peak. It's wonderful. I feel like that's something that should be noted.
I agree.
Jake's an excellent narrator.
Yeah, no, I love those. I love them. I have a playlist for them so I can listen to them. I would call those episodes classic series episodes before I call season 7 classic series episodes. That's how much I like them.
Yeah.
A bold statement, but it's true. it feels like Railway Series episodes, and it feels like a Railway Series book. And I would not mind doing an audio commentary on those, just because of how good they are. Like I think they're great. I think Carson deserves. I don't know him very well, but he deserves uber respect for how he put that together, because they're fantastic. Every time he uploads a new one, and even his other one, he just uploaded one today with Thomas and Duck. I even like those too. Like that narrator is really good too.
Oh yeah, that's Chris. Yeah, he goes all the way back.
Chris feels like a Railway Series narrator from like when somebody would narrate the Railway Series books, like way back in the day. That's what he feels like to me. If you take my meaning, you know what I mean. But like I think it's great. I love the Richard the New Engine. Richard the New Engine is the first fan made character I would accept as a actual character. Who's your favorite Thomas characters? Oh, Richard. Like
Richard. I think he's good. I really like
Richard tomorrow. Get it done.
Let's see. Let's move to the next question.
I'm gonna turn. 1 second. Choose one. I'm gonna go turn the arrow on.
Okay. All right. Let's see. What do we got? What do we got here? Let's see. What do we got here? Thoughts on a Thomas and Tugs crossover? I don't think this would work, in all honesty. I think the aesthetics of the show don't go together. What do you think of this, Kevin? Thoughts on a Thomas Tugs crossover?
No, there was a time where I thought that they were going to be so, like in the season 17 to 20 era, that they were going to be so ingrained in Thomas fandom that they were going to introduce two boats called 10 Cents and Sunshine to the show.
Can you imagine?
I would not have put them past that to do it.
We got Big Mickey.
I don't even know.
Let me ask you this question. Oh, sorry, keep going.
The problem I would see with this is Thomas is 10 Cents and James is Top Hat. So you would have characters that are the same, in my opinion. You know what I mean?
If Tugs somehow came on Thomas, it's not like they'd be major characters or anything. So it's not like
you just have characters that are too similar, I think. And I mean, when you think of like a Thomas, when you see those Thomas YouTube things where they take the Thomas characters and they put the Tugs audio over it. Thomas is always 10 Cents. Percy's always Sunshine.
The whole parody videos. Yeah,
everyone's always the same. You know, James is always Top Hat. Gordon is usually Warrior. Henry is Warrior. Gordon is Big Mac. Edward is Hercules. Toby is OJ. Like,
okay, can we usually that's how it is. Can we talk about that for a second?
What is it?
I don't think those characters actually match with those characters at all, really.
Really?
I don't think Thomas is actually in character with 10 Cents at all.
Yeah, no, you're right. I think 10 Cents is a little bit older than Thomas.
Well, 10 Cents' character is that he's feisty and he's like really he's a law abider. He's always plays by the rule book. He's super like quick to like call people out and accuse and like jump. Like he's not a coward, you know. Like he will jump in and fucking rip you a new one. Like in fucking Quarantine, he like races after Zoran. Like he doesn't think that's 10 Cents' character flaw. I don't think Thomas is like that.
No,
I don't feel like there's.
I think it's just because you kind of look at them and you're like, that makes sense, but then you do it without thinking about it.
Yeah. This guy right here says, why do people think Edward matches Hercules? I don't think Edward matches Hercules at all.
I think it's just because Hercules is the last one, and then they have to give it to Edward. You know, I think that's how people think, because there's 7 Tugs and there's 7 main
characters. Yeah. It does line up, I guess, but I don't think they're perfect.
But it's not perfect. I think the only real one-to-one is Top Hat and James.
Top Hat and James are very similar.
And maybe to a degree, OJ and Toby, but to a degree.
Yeah, definitely similarities there, yeah. But if they brought Tugs into Thomas for some reason, I don't think it would work because the aesthetics are so different. Like with Thomas is that whole world, they're treated as if they're real machines, right?
Right.
I know they don't stick to the rule like at all, really, but the whole point is like the cab is still visible. The drivers can still drive them. They're supposed to just be machines in the real world. Tugs is like they don't have drivers. They don't have cabs. Like their whole front of their wheelhouse is a face. Like no one could actually operate them. You know,
right?
You put that kind of aesthetic into Thomas, and I just feel like it would clash. It wouldn't work at all.
Right?
Like completely redesign.
I agree. It'd be an interesting idea, but I don't think it's something that we need to say.
No, it doesn't need to happen. Let me ask you this though, because this is an interesting question. Since Big Mickey is in Thomas now, he is canon. His name is Big Mickey.
Right.
Is it the same Big Mickey?
No.
No, it's not. I was gonna say, like, do you think imagine like Cranky and Carly are like talking about
Thomas of the Megaphone, like Big Mickey. I love that.
Like he's just like Puffy, just like a megaphone sticking out of his cab. Can you imagine can you imagine I don't know, let's say there's like a fire at the docks or something, and
Brenham Docks, is that where?
Yeah, Brenham Docks, yeah. Okay. Because that's happened before. There's like a fire, and then like whoever comes and puts it out, and then Cranky's like, oh, like that was or what would you say? Like, oh, that was close. Like that could have gotten worse. And then Big Mickey's all like, oh, I've seen worse. And they're all like, what?
him and Carly just look at him.
Yeah, I've died before.
Carly look at each other, and then they look at Big Mickey, and then they look at each other again, and they're like, what?
What do you mean? What do you mean you've seen worse? Oh yeah, I was on a fire once. I died.
It does take place before the Railway series. Tugs is the 1920s.
No, actually.
Don't they say in the first episode?
I mean, no. Tugs does take place in the 20s, but the first Railway series book takes place in like 1922 or 23 or something.
Really? Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Thomas officially gets his branch line in 24, I think, 1924, something like that. So they actually coincide. Weirdly.
Interesting. But one's in the U.S. and one is on a mythical island. So,
I mean, they're both mystical. I hate to tell you this, Kevin, but a big city port doesn't actually exist.
What?
Hey, we switched sides.
Yeah, we did, because if somebody leaves, then our order gets switched.
Why did you leave?
Yeah, because I said I'm done, and then I clicked out.
Oh.
When you told me Big City Port wasn't real. All right. Come on, guys, let's go. I got all. I'm still ready to go. Let's go.
Let's do it. Give us a good episode. All right.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Railway series book and why?
Ooh.
You answer first.
I don't know. I have to think about that. Hold on.
Okay. Railway series book. This is a hard one because there's a lot of really, really good books.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think most people's answers are going to be Enterprising Engines.
Oh, yeah.
Because Enterprising Engine is a wonderful, wonderful book. Like, it has some of the best stories in it.
Uh-huh.
I think I would, if I had to like answer honestly, I think I probably would say Enterprising Engines.
Yeah.
I like mainline engines a lot as well.
Uh-huh.
But I want to just like point out some books I think are very overlooked. I think Gordon the Big Engine is actually a wonderful, wonderful book. Gordon's character arc in that book is just the bee's knees.
I think I was gonna say I think that Gordon the Big Engine and shoot, there was one more. Little Old Engines are probably like two of
Little Old Engine. That's another good one. Yeah. There's just so many. There's just so many good books.
I love Edward the Blue Engine.
That's good.
I'm trying to think because and I think you and I agree on this. I don't like Christopher Nicholas.
Yeah, I'm not a fan either.
He's got some okay ones, but I don't think they're. I stop it like 26 is where it ends for me.
They're just so. They don't have the humor that Audrey's do. Audrey's stories are so clever, and like he writes the characters in such a funny way that's just not present in the Chris books. They feel so like robotic in the Chris books.
Right.
Everything. The writing feels so technical. It just lacks the charm.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine reading all the books 1 through 42 and going from tramway engines to really useful engines.
Right.
It doesn't feel the same in any way. It doesn't look the same, first of all, but like the way it's written, it doesn't feel consistent.
I mean, as much as I like things like Triple Header or like Fish, they don't, or Mind That Bike, like they don't. It definitely feels different. Like there's no stakes. It almost feels like, like, oh, it happened. Oh, well, like this accident happened. Or, oh, you tried your best, but
yeah,
it doesn't feel like it's the same universe. It feels, I'm going to make this bold statement. It feels like classic Thomas and CGI Thomas. It feels like the two paradigms. You know what I mean?
Both good, but very different.
Yes, I think that's a good way to put it.
Yeah, I think I kind of agree with that. It's I don't know. It's like I don't ever want to go back to the Chris books. I think another thing about the Chris books that's very detrimental is every book that that Wilbert wrote. He always was building the world. Every book introduced something new. Mainline Engines introduces the whole clay pits operation and all of that. Small railway engines introduces the Arlesdale Railway. Something happens that progresses the world of Sodor in every book. The Chris books
don't.
There are some that do. Some do. Like Gordon, the high-speed engine introduces Pip and Emma,
right?
And that carries over later on when Gordon gets retired from the Express and Pip and Emma take over. And then he introduces Jock and all this stuff. But a lot of the books don't progress anything.
Right.
They just feel very stagnant. And I think that's very detrimental to this ever-expanding world that is the island of Sodor.
Mm-hmm. I don't remember. And when does Gordon retire officially from the Express?
The last book, Thomas and His Friends.
Okay, that's what I thought. I just couldn't remember. And I was like, I don't remember that. And it's probably because I haven't read that book. That'd be why.
I mean, it's like a line that's mentioned at the beginning of some story. It's unrelated to the story. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
I like the idea. I like the idea of the series starting when Gordon was a new engine.
Right.
And he's putting down Edward and he's such a big asshole. And then at the very end of it, he gets retired from the series and he's a much more humbled character. I like the idea. I do like the idea.
A question I had was of the first 5 seasons, you and I are in agreement that they are that is our favorite era of Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
What is the worst episode of the first 5 seasons?
Oh boy. Okay, the worst episode of the first 5 seasons. I
have episodes where I like them, but I feel like they don't satisfy. So, for example, I like A Close Shave for Duck, but that's not a good ending to that Duck and Diesel trilogy.
Oh, that's a controversial opinion right there.
Why
do you think that's not a good ending?
I like the episode, but the Diesel thing just gets dropped. And
that's kind of true. That's kind of true. You're right.
I think if this would have happened I think if Duck and the Diesel Engine was a 4 episode story thing, and the last episode Duck stops the accident and maybe James comes around to him for what he did. And then James comes around to him for what he did. And but Gordon and Henry are still I don't know, because Diesel's still there, and then Duck catches Diesel in the act doing something or whatever. I think if you span the 4, if he made it 4 parts, it'd be one thing. But Diesel just gets sent off with, oh, I never believed Diesel, so I sent him packing. Then why did you send Duck away? It's weird to me.
It is. I guess I would agree. Yeah, I always thought that was kind of weird. I never saw it.
And it's not a bad story. I just think it doesn't end in a very cool way. We're distracted by what Duck did when the main plot for the last 2 episodes is just kind of being like,
Yeah.
So,
yeah, for sure. I agree. I agree that like I wish they did. Diesel was more involved in the finale. I agree.
And there's not a bad. It's not a bad episode. It's just. I think. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I think if I were to pick like an episode from those first 5 seasons that I would consider bad, I don't think any of them are bad.
Right.
I think there are some that are very boring.
Right.
Like Thomas and the Guard, like the most boring episode ever.
Right. Like, and I see people in the comments saying Tender Engines. I don't think Tender Engines. Yeah. I think it's a funny episode. Especially,
I think Tender Engine is a fine episode, but it's a bad adaptation. It's a bad adaptation of the original.
Oh, hold on. Good question.
Oh,
that's one that's going to make.
Is there an answer to this?
Man.
I don't think there's an answer to this one. Let's see. What's the worst one?
I'm gonna be a little controversial. I have my answer. And I don't think. And again, I'm gonna stress I don't think any of them are bad episodes. I think I think Gallon Old Engine is so boring though. I think that's boring.
Oh my god. Get out of here. Oh no.
I think it's a little boring. I don't know. I think it's Edward's. I think it's trying to be Edward's exploit, but it's not.
Gallon Old Engine was written before Edward's exploit,
right? But in my mentality, I know it was after. I think Edward's exploit is a better version of that. You know what I mean? But again, all of you need to calm down. I don't think it's a bad episode. I just think there's not a whole lot going on. Like Renee is just like, oh, it hurts, and then he's like, I'll keep going, and then he goes. Yeah. Where I feel like there could have been a little bit more to that. And that's just my opinion. But it's not a bad episode. I don't hate any episode in seasons 1 to 5. I think there's some ones that are like it just feels like it kind of happens, and then it's like, oh, he made it. So it doesn't feel like it was that bad. I don't feel the weight of Reneeus being almost 100 years old. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I see what you mean.
But it's not,
that comes to the lack of just being adapted well from the original story.
Right. And this is me not having access to the Railway series, books readily.
What? You don't have the Bible? You don't own the Bible?
I own that Japanese Bible you gave me, but did I lose you? What did you say?
If I were to answer the worst episode of season 4, narrow gauge episode, I guess I would say Home at Last. It's kind of a boring one, I guess.
I was gonna say that because that's just a lot of talking in that episode.
It's a lot of exposition, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that one. I don't dislike it at all. I think it's a fun great intro to Duncan.
I don't dislike any episode from season 4.
Yeah, neither do I.
Season 3, it's the same way. I don't dislike any episode from season 3, or 1, or 2, or 5.
I kind of dislike Thomas and the Guard.
Or no, I get that.
James and the Express or something. I don't know. Those episodes don't really do it for me. The first half of season 1 has always been kind of boring to me. And I think that comes down to those were like the 2 Ringo tapes that I had.
Right.
Thomas gets tricked, and what was the other one? James learns a lesson. I don't know. They were just kind of like boring episodes, in my opinion. And I always thought the more fun ones were later. Like Percy runs away, dirty objects.
You gotta establish the characters and all that, and that's what they're doing.
Oh yeah, totally.
And if you like Gallon Old Engine, you can like it. It's fine. I've never really cared for Reneeus as much as a character, because I think he's the least developed narrow gauge character.
He is, sadly. I mean, that's fault of the TV series. I mean,
right.
He was a main character in Very Old Engines, but
right, and I love him in Very. I love him in Very.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. That was a good one. We had to think about that one.
Yeah, that was a good one. How about best episode of the Brenner era?
So what's classified as the Brenner era? Let's establish that right now.
Season 17 through 21. We're not going to count any of Boba.
Okay. Boba. I'm not going to count the Smalley episodes.
I had this discussion. We had the same realization. We're like, we're not going to count those because those are Audrey stories. They're not original stories.
I think we said it earlier. I think it's the rail car and the coaches. But I love Cautious Connor.
That one's great. That one is great. I do like that one a lot too.
The Christmas coffee pot and Over the Hill.
Those are high up for me as well. It's like most of the episodes of season 20 are just so great.
Henry Gets the Express, I think, is great.
Another great one. Another really great one. Yeah.
Pouty James. Pouty James.
I think the best episode of the Brenner era, Railcar and the Coaches, either that or Love Me Tender. I just can't get over the fact Love Me Tender is an episode that exists.
Right.
That happened. We got a completely Donald and Douglas centric episode where they fall out, and it's just such a good story. Mm-hmm. They fall out. One gets, it's kind of silly. He gets lost at the junction. They can't see him, really. But right. I like the idea. He gets lost, and then his brother, they puts everything aside, and he goes finds him, and then just has this really nice ending. And it ends with the same dialogue that the episode started with. It's very satisfying.
I think some other honorable mentions. Toad's Adventure. Thomas the Quarry.
Toad's Adventure blew my freaking mind when that came out.
Right. That whole DVD. What was on that DVD? Thomas the Quarry, or the Quarry Engine. Toad's
Not So Slow Coaches.
Not So Slow Coach. I love Not So Slow Coaches.
That's a great one.
What else was on that DVD?
Flatbreads of Fear.
Yeah, okay, that was just okay.
The Flatbeds of Fear.
That was Trouble on the Tracks, right?
Yes.
Disappearing Diesels. I like
that was a wonderful one. I love that one.
I love Paxton.
It's so funny.
Yeah, there's some good episodes in there. There's some I could probably compile all the episodes I really like into maybe 2 seasons worth. I love Duncan, the Grumpy Passenger.
Yep, that's a good one.
The Bill and Ben episodes are great.
I think Thomas the Quarry Engine deserves a really nice mention here because that is a really, really great Thomas episode.
It is.
We get so many Thomas episodes where he's just kind of out of character and it's just a nice fight, whatever. Not I don't know. I feel like they get Thomas really wrong in a lot of episodes, but that one was completely in character for him.
Mm-hmm. Thomas in the emergency
character. Mavis, the fact Mavis was the main player in that, that was such a wonderful, well-written episode.
I think if we want to talk about in character Thomas in the Emergency Cable.
Yeah, that was good too. That was very much him, him refusing to stop because he was upset with one passenger. That was very in character for Thomas. It was great.
And then Old Reliable Edward, I think, is a better version of Edward the Really Useful Engine. I think it's that episode written better.
Yes. It's literally the same episode, but it is written better. You're right. Yeah. I agree.
Somebody said Duck and the Slip Coaches. That episode is called James and the Slip Coaches. That is not a Duck episode.
I take a lot of issue with that one. I like the idea a lot.
I do too.
I love the idea of introducing this real life Great Western Railway operation. I love that they gave Duck some backstory in that. That's great, but the story doesn't make any sense.
No.
Duck goes to sleep. He tells the engines that night, "Hey, we used to use slip coaches on the Great Western," and then he wakes up and they're just there. The exact ones he used to use. Are you kidding me? What? How did he? How? It's just such a silly premise, and
then the whole bashing of Emily, the subtle bashing of Emily. I hate that.
That was a little. I didn't like that.
It's too on the nose.
That was too fan servicey.
Yeah.
Fan service can be done right. Don't get me wrong. I do like it. But
trust me. Enough of you bitched about it. His opinions on Twitter not too long ago. But you're hearing it from himself and the video he did over 4 years ago. Fan service can be done right, and it has been done.
Can be. Railcar and the Coaches. I would call that fan service, but it was.
But it's great fan service. It's wonderful.
Yeah. Smalley episodes are wonderful. They're flawed, but they're fan service as fuck, but they're great. They're fucking great.
All right. Good question. Next question. Who's got a question?
You pick the next one. I picked that one.
I live an hour away from Strasbourg. Ooh. I live an hour away. So ever since I moved to where I have moved, I'm not going to say where for my own privacy, but I went and saw I can't remember the name, the big streamlined engine that was there. I can't remember. It's late.
611.
Yeah, 611. I went and saw 611 when he was there. I'm there as much as I can be. It's only an hour away from my house. I love Strasbourg. I've been going to Strasbourg ever since I was little. So many memories. I know I posted pictures of it on Twitter. The big spinning Thomas VHS display and that giant Magic Railroad poster that I got, the 7-foot tall one. I got both of those when Thomas Trackside Station was closing down. I absolutely love Strasbourg Railroad. I want to do, when I eventually do my large scale railway in my backyard, I want to model part of that off of Strasbourg Railroad. Always love Strasbourg. It's beautiful. It's my favorite railway to go to in the United States. I used to go to B&O Railroad a lot, but I prefer Strasbourg. I absolutely in love with it. So I will come down to Strasbourg whenever now that I'm so close, I could go down every weekend if I wanted to. I've
never been to Strasbourg. I've always wanted to go, but I never had a chance.
When you come down next time,
so
when you come to the East Coast, we're going.
All right, let's do it.
When you come back, we're going. I saw another good question. Where'd it go?
Favorite Thomas song? It's the Island song. No, not really. It's not the Island song.
Can I say something just slightly cringy? It's a little cringy. At my wedding, we played an instrumental version of the Island song for one of the dances.
Wow.
Instrumental version.
Wow.
Did not go full lyrics, but I was like, the lyrics would be very cringe. I'm gonna do the instrumental version to just insert Thomas into the wedding, because I would not have done it if you would have been there, Nick, because I know you would have gotten me something old, something new, something borrowed. Look, I know you probably would have done something like that, but real talk.
I'm curious of how this went down. The Island song and instrumental.
Oh, I found an instrumental version on YouTube. We made a whole playlist because we made the playlist. We didn't hire a DJ. We made the playlist of what we wanted to play at the wedding. We were like, let's do what we want, and we put what we want on there, and that was that. And I was kind of in charge of doing it because I listen to a little bit more music than she does, but I just was like, I'm going to put it in there and see what happens. And we played it, and it was a good slow dance song, and that was it. We didn't think two things of it.
Nice. Would you say that's your favorite song?
No,
from Thomas.
No. It's a good song. It's a great song. I don't think it's my favorite though.
What is your favorite?
I like. Jeez.
For me, it's Night Train. I fucking love Night Train. That's such a cool, I don't know. The Post Train theme has always been so mystical to me, and the fact they made a song out of that,
right?
It's just wonderful.
I gotta give them credit where credit's due. The fact that they did so many songs, based on themes like engine themes and stuff like that in the show.
Yeah,
that's a hard one. I love the Thomas anthem. I love Let's Have a Race. I love Toby. I love Really Useful Engine. I think the better Really Useful Engine is actually, I love all three versions of Really Useful Engine. I think it depends on my mood, but I think I love the Adventure Begins.
Adventure Begins.
Yeah, one.
Yep, I agree. I like that one more too. I think that's the supreme version of the song.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think the season 4 and 5 songs are the only ones I really enjoy. Anything after that, I'm not too big on.
This is going to be a silly opinion because I don't think this is anyone's favorite song at all. But I've always liked the Salty song in season 7.
I'd have to re-listen. I'd have to re-listen to that because I don't
know what it is. It's just like it's a slow, like kind of sea shanty about Salty, and it's just like this is a nice song. Like Salty is a good character, and he has like this nice tribute to him. Like I always like that. I don't know if it's my favorite, but like I think it's worth mentioning.
Yeah. There's some good ones out there, but I like basically anything from season 4 and 5. I will never complain about.
Of course, well, none of them are bad. Of course not. They're all great. Yeah,
but I can't. I don't know if I could pick a favorite. I'd have to think about that one. I'd have to think about that one. All right, your turn.
Okay. Someone's been asking about Hero the Rails for a while. I've seen that. What do you think of Hero the Rails?
I remember, so real quick, I remember finding Hero of the Rails the Friday before it came out on DVD. It was supposed to come out on a Tuesday. I found it at an FYE on a Friday night. I was on a...
Oh, yeah, you got it like early, right?
Yeah, I got it like a week early. I was on a date. I was waiting around for her, and I went to FYE, and I found it. And I was like, oh, shit, it's out, and they let me buy it. And then I kept it in my bag the whole time, and she had no idea because I was, I was a junior in high school, so... Was I a junior? I think I was a junior. I don't remember, but regardless, I found it early, so that's something I always think about. I mean, it's not terrible. It's a good first try, I think, for a.
I haven't watched Hero the Rails in a very long time.
Me neither. I like Spencer.
I think it was like. Oh yeah, Spencer was great in it. I think it's solid. I think that's the word I would use to describe Hero the Rails. I don't think it's great. I don't think it's even good, really, but it's solid. Like it was a nice start to that era. There was a lot of promise in it, and it just sucks that like the episodes directly after Hero the Rails were just absolutely terrible.
Yeah, I agree.
But I liked Hero the Rails. I like that Spencer was a main character in it. Spencer is one of my favorites. So.
I think it was a good first attempt at a Thomas movie in CGI, and I don't know. I don't hate it, but it's not the best thing ever. I would rather watch Tale of the Brave or or something like that. Anything that follows Tale of the Brave, I would. Not anything that follows Tale of the Brave. Anything from Tale of the Brave from what's it called? Probably The Great Race. I'd watch any of those movies. No problem.
Let me ask you a bigger question then.
Okay. What was that?
Your top 3 Thomas movies. What are they?
The Adventure Begins. What's it called? Lost Treasure and Tale of the Brave.
I think I would say the same. However, I actually really like Blue Mountain Mystery.
Oh no, I
that movie. That one is just like the fact that came out of the Nitrogen era blows my freaking mind.
I agree. I do agree. That is a good one. I think I just like Tale of the Brave a little bit more. I like the autumn theme. I love fall is my favorite time of year.
Yeah.
So the fall theme, all that kind of stuff. I love that. And then you got Bill and Ben in it, and you've got the Clay Pit Gang and all that. I just think it's great. I love it. I think it's probably I look very fondly back on it. In fact, I might watch that tomorrow now. I haven't watched it in a while.
I haven't watched any of these in a very long time.
Right.
Yeah, I might put Blue Mountain Mystery as number 3 for me, honestly. I might put it above Tale of the Brave. I love Tale of the Brave. Tale of the Brave is wonderful, but I feel like Blue Mountain Mystery is so special to me because it promised so much for the future, you know? Like we just gotten like season 15. It was like a really terrible season, and then that came out, and it was like, oh my god, this is amazing. The characters are written so well. The music is great. The animation's great.
Guys, I know I look a little bit like John Tron. Thank you. my friend told me I should contact him because I look so much like him and be his like double in an episode or something like that. I know I look like John Tron. Thank you.
Is that guy with you, John Tron?
I don't have the beard, but I mean, I got the hair though. But
are you JonTron or are you a Beetle? What are you?
Right? What? Who am I? Anyway.
Well, I'm discount Tony Stark, so.
And I'm discount Paul McCartney.
For the ultimate combo.
Right? Paulie and all right.
All right. So we're coming up on almost 3 hours here. I think maybe we should cut this off at the 3-hour mark. Answer a couple more questions and then.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. Let's see. Let's think of a good one. Let's find a really good one. Ooh, I like this one. If Thomas was going to end, how would you write out the finale? What would you want to see in a finale?
I'd want to see I don't know. I want to see something big, I guess. I want it to be something, the stakes are high. But I don't know what that would be. You know, I would have every character featured in some sort of way, be it in the background or having a major part. Like, I'd want the Smallies to be in it. I'd want the narrow gauge engines. I want Jack in the Pack to be in it. I'd want the main 7 engines to be the focus. I don't know what I would do. I really don't. That's something I couldn't.
I think I would want all the main characters featured in some way. Not necessarily all have main roles, because how do you give 7, 8 characters all a lead role? You know,
right?
I think
to be prominent.
They have to be prominent. Yeah, I think Tale of the Brave kind of had the right idea in writing a successful, really like home hitting finale. Tale of the Brave, the way that movie ended, it was perfect. It was the 3 main characters. All 3 of them had really good arcs in that movie. Like, and that they all came together at the end. They were all wrong at some point in the story, and they came together and they apologized, and they went off.
It was
great. It was such like a home hitting ending, and I think that's what I would want. I want a nice emotional ending with the main characters.
And it's not the end of Sodor. I think that's something that would happen. Thomas and his friends keep living on, you know. But I don't think it's not the end of Thomas. It's not the island is done. Thomas and his friends keep living on, you know, after that. Yeah. But I don't know how I would do it. I think it would have to be kind of big stakes, though. You'd have to feature the main 7 characters, giving good cameos to other characters and stuff like that. So that'd be how I do it.
I'm trying to think what would like the story be? I really don't know what I'd want in a story. I think I would want it to be on Sodor. I wouldn't want some like big thing where they go on this huge adventure to the mainland, like the Great Race or something. I would want a more personal story about them on Sodor. Maybe it's something like I don't fucking know. Sir Topham Hatt retired. I have no idea what I'm saying. Something like that. You know, like a personal story that is very character based. Like, I don't know. Give me an ending like Tale of the Brave, and I'd be satisfied.
Yeah, make it good. I guess that's all I care about. Like, you could take the queen, like the queen coming to Sodor kind of thing, like they're kind of doing now with this royal engine thing, but just make it good, you know?
Oh God, the royal engine.
But do something, do it good, but do it well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have anything more to say on that. Next. All right, we did some of these we've already answered. Like favorite Railway Series book and cool props Thomas and the props at Drayton. We've talked about all that already, so you can go and rewatch the stream. We're not ignoring your questions. We just have a lot of things to kind of go through. Unlikely fandom, I think really quick. I think it's a great thing that they're doing. I donated to the fandom. Sure. I helped supply a giveaway to the fandom that I have to send out, but with the coronavirus, post offices are not as open as they used to be, but I'm totally here for it. I wish them nothing but the best of luck. I think it's got great people behind it.
As do I. Yeah. I think the fact that like something like this existing is just wonderful, and the fact that it has so much support, it made so much money on that Kickstarter. Like that to me, that shows real promise. I'm really excited to see how this is going to turn out. I fully support it.
Yeah, that's really all I can say. We talked about Thomas on Netflix already. You see anything?
Let's see.
There's nothing to talk about.
There's nothing to talk about. Kevin, do you like Smudger?
He's a show off. I mean, I guess for the one line he had, I guess so.
All right, let's see. Let's pick one more question, like a nice, good question.
Okay, we do have. Oh, how long do we have? We have 10 minutes. Okay.
Okay, I don't know where it is, but someone asked, what like are there any positives to Bubba? Do you think there's any positives to Bubba?
No. wait, hold on. Wait. I'm gonna quote Wilbert here. No.
No.
I don't think there's anything positive to it. I don't like it. I think it's bad. I think there's some good things in season 21. But after season 21, I just think it all went downhill. I don't like any of the international characters. I don't like Thomas narrating the show. I don't like how they bounce around.
Yeah.
I don't care for it.
I generally think, yeah, it's just a massive pile of shit.
It's a middle finger to everything Thomas has ever been.
Here's the interesting thing, though, and I'll say this: I think there are good episodes hidden in there, like the Bulgy episode. I did watch that. That was a good one.
I could do without all these fantasy sequences, though.
Well, yeah, no one likes those. Yeah, I wish those weren't in there either. But I think there's good episodes, but it's just like the whole concept's ruined because you can't watch a Sodor episode and like pretend Bubba doesn't exist because it does. Every episode has been like tainted by it, and that's like the worst thing about it.
Right.
Here's a controversial opinion. I haven't seen all of the episodes. I think I've seen most of the Sodor ones, but like the international ones, I could care less about. I'm not as infuriated by the international episodes as I am the Sodor episodes. Because the international ones, from what I can see, I mean, they're basically not canon. You know, I look at those the same way I look at like Magic Railroad. Like, it's not canon. They're terrible. They're stupid. But like, they don't anger me because they're not progressing like the overall story at all.
Right.
I can ignore them, no problem. They don't. It's not like they mention them in like the Sodor episodes. You know, like Thomas is like, oh, remember that one time I went to China and I learned Taekwondo from young. Like, that never happens. You know.
Right.
The Sodor episodes are supposed to be like the ones that the fans watch and be like, yeah, this is the Thomas I like. But I think those are so tainted that they're just unbearable. Like the fact Thomas is the narrator now, the fact Nia and Rebecca are shoehorned in like almost every episode. And the fact Edward and Henry are just not in it. Like I can't get over that. Like I don't know. There's still good stories. Like the Bulgy one, like I said, that was all right. The Toby one was pretty good. But I can't like them though. It's like the whole foundation of them are just completely wronged. And I don't know. I'm more infuriated by those than I am the international episodes. I think the international episodes are just kind of like whatever. Like, they're stupid. I don't care. Like, if I were to like give them a ranking, I don't think the international episodes are worthy of a ranking because they're just nothing.
Right. I would agree.
The Sodor ones, I would actually give a ranking, and they'd be very low.
Fair.
Yeah.
I
mean, maybe are there good international episodes? I don't know. I haven't seen a good one.
I don't care.
I don't care either.
I like this question.
Remove a character from seasons 1 through 5 and replace them with a character from the Railway series. Like, how would this work? Like,
I guess you take any character and just swap them with a different character that was already established.
So, like, remove, like, I don't know, Gordon and replace him with Bear throughout the whole series? Like,
yeah, I guess something like that. Now that I think about it a little bit more, I'm like, I wouldn't. Like, because the only
can I give the obvious answer?
Sure.
I would remove Smudger and replace with Stanley.
I just don't. Every main character from the Railway series was pretty much used, you know. So it's like, who, what, you know, like,
yeah.
I don't know.
I wouldn't want to remove any of the characters.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess like the obvious one, Smudger with Stanley. Yeah, like that.
Like, it's so minuscule that it doesn't really.
Yeah, it doesn't really affect anything.
Right.
I don't know. I don't think I have an answer for this one. I don't want to see any character removed.
Yeah, right. Oh, here we go. Finally got it.
Welcome, Stanley. Oh, good times. Good times. Someone needs to animate this now, like Bulstrode pulling the express. I need to see this. I saw this this one video. I don't even know how I found it, but it was it I can't even describe it without laughing. It was it was Joe Swanson. It was like a collage of pictures of Joe Swanson from Family Guy with Gordon's theme. Like the guy edited Joe Swanson onto the front of like the express coaches, and like just the idea of like the Joe Swanson flying down the tracks pulling the express is the funniest thing in the world to me. Let's do that. Let's swap Gordon with Joe Swanson.
Perfect. All right, guys, we've got about 5 minutes left. Let's get some questions in. Some good ones.
One more question. All right, here we go. Top 5 characters.
Thomas,
I know you're 4. What's
Thomas, James, Gordon, Sir Handel, Cranky.
Ooh,
and that's not even including like CGI characters. But I don't know if I don't think I'm equipped to go that route right now. Just because I don't have them all in front of me. By the way, late Jurassic, my favorite dinosaur is a T-Rex. Just to throw it on there.
Nice.
Those are my favorite. Those are my top 5.
I have to really think about this. Number 1.
Theo, where's Edward? Not on my top 5.
He's number 1 for me. Edward's my favorite character, I think.
He's Tug's number 1.
He is. I don't know. I've like thought about this a long time. Like if you had asked me like 5 years ago, who's your favorite character? I would have been like, oh, I don't know, Skarloey or one of them. But I think it's Edward. Edward is the best character, in my opinion. I really love Gordon. I think Gordon has a wonderful character arc, at least in the books, and he's just such a good character. I would put Skarloey on the list. I love Skarloey. I love the whole Skarloey Railway, and he's the main one. As a kid, I always loved Percy. Percy was like my favorite one because he had the best crashes. And to this day, I still love his crashes. They're the best ones. Number 5. What would that be? I'm tempted to say Cranky, honestly. I love Cranky.
Mm-hmm.
Cranky, maybe Salty. I don't know. That's a good question. I have to really think about that. But for number 1 is absolutely Edward, hands down.
That's fair.
Yeah, for sure.
Indeed.
What's the worst? Who's the worst character of all the show? Who's the worst one?
Like from beginning to end? Like
Nia. Nia?
Nia.
Yeah, Nia's pretty bad. Okay, not Nia. Pick a different one.
Okay.
That's like the opposite.
Oh, Philip.
Philip, yeah.
Philip.
Yeah.
Philip.
Yeah, Philip's pretty bad. This is hard. The worst character. I think this is gonna be, but
okay.
The more I think about it, I really
Boko. I hate Boko.
Boko. No, not Boko.
You androgynous Boko.
I think some of the worst. I mean, like not the worst characters, but like an easy answer to this would be like the ones that were just completely nothing, like Neville,
Flora,
right? Flora, yeah. But it's like I don't count them because they didn't really like do anything that like affected the series negatively.
Right.
Characters that affected the series negatively. This is really hard. I kind of want to say Samson.
Oh, I love myself some Samson.
The more I think about Samson, the more I just don't like him. He's well written, I guess, but like he doesn't fit what he's supposed to be, and he has some really stupid episodes. It's I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Samson's low for me. I really have to say that.
That's fair. It's funny. I like Bradford a little bit more than I like Samson.
Well, Bradford's great. Bradford's like a funny character. Yeah.
Hold on.
I don't know. Like I like the idea of Samson, but like I don't know. He's just such a terrible character in my opinion. Not terrible, but it's like he's low
weird. He's weird. Yeah. I like that one where he throws around a bus stop.
The one where he throws out the bus. You know what? No. My least favorite character is Birdie. Fuck Birdie the bus. Birdie memes. He's the reason my account, Nick Goob account, got taken down. Like, fuck that guy.
It's all. Oh goodness me.
Alrighty. Well, we're nearing the 3-hour mark.
We're 40 seconds out from the 3-hour mark. So this was fun. Right. I really enjoyed this.
I really enjoyed this too. This was great. If my internet worked better, I think this wouldn't be as laggy.
You haven't had any problems since you turned off your camera though. So
yeah, it's not fun doing this without the camera turned on.
I get it, but it's definitely it definitely helped. So we'll hopefully we can look out to all this in the future and try to figure it out and see what
this is all a learning curve. Yeah, maybe I can like connect the computer to with an Ethernet cable or something. Yeah. I would like to do this again though. If you guys like this, I mean, I would totally love to do a live stream again. Maybe I can have other people on. We can have more guests or something.
Yeah, we'll definitely be doing more of these if you guys liked it. We're glad to be here, glad to entertain. And with the coronavirus and all that, oh shoot, the Ben's new buffers,
Ben's shiny new buffers, yeah.
We'll probably have more time to do this and hang out with you guys and do some live streams and stuff like that. But yeah,
let's do it.
I'm going to shamelessly plug, guys. Follow me on Twitter at KyoryuZeo93. It's the name you see right below, but add a 9 and add a 3. You can catch me every single Friday night on Riders, Rangers, and Rambles, The Streets. It's RRR Infinity on YouTube, and on Twitter, we are RRR The Streets. We tweet out the episode link every Friday. Come and join us for some good Toku fun in the chat and some superhero shenanigans. Yeah. And you can follow me on my
links to both our Twitters are in the description, so just head on down there. Alrighty, thank you guys so much for coming. We'll talk again soon.
Later, guys. Bye.
Bye.